That's a little bit better. Good morning, everyone. We have some funness to cover, I would say. Mute, Tristan, you're muted. Is it working now? Okay, usually I can tell by these, there's like a little thing I put in here to make sure I know when I am not having any audio issue. And right above the pink, like where the star is and all my alerts are at, you'll see a little waveform. And that is my own tell with this program, because this program is extremely hard sometimes. And I'm trying, but regardless, it seems to be working okay. Funness is a word. It is. Now it is. Deal with it, James. God. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so we have a couple things to cover today. I do want to do some rank sets, maybe, because there's only about a week left in Kombat League, and I'm very upset that I am not in the top 1,000. Just kidding. I knew that. I want to get to at least like Elder God or something, right? Like, I'm hoping see, my chat for some reason doesn't work, so I tried using my Restream chat. I'm gonna have to go through and revamp all of this, but that's for another day, so you guys are gonna have to deal with it looking a wee bit unprofessional. So, I just want to be the first to let you guys know, Joseph sucks at law. Remember that Joseph's judicial review Hooded came up with? Probably not a very bright idea. Okay, I'm totally kidding, Joseph. Calm your panties. So, we are going to talk about the... Why? Come on, work, you stupid freaking chat. Okay, it doesn't matter. I keep saying it doesn't matter, then it bugs me. So, we're going to talk about Eric July did, in fact, settle. Eric July did, in fact, settle his lawsuit. I want to make this crystal clear so you guys know. What we've been saying all along at this channel, what Tony from the Geek Getaway has been saying all along, what people like Dick Masterson and Vito and everybody, right, has been saying all along at this channel was, in fact, correct. Ironic, isn't it? If you can pull your emotion away from it, you can see the legalities of it. That would actually mean that, Joseph would have to remove his lips from Eric's dick in order to do so. But yes, he has settled, and we're going to take a look at that paper. Now, there was an extension filed in order to see exactly what they're settling about, what the terms of this was, and everything's on Pacer. You can get it. I, in fact, just stole it from, screenshotted it from Tony's thing, but shut up. So let's take a look at that first. She's on fire today. No, I just find, yes, okay. Yeah, I'll be fair here. I'm just fucking around completely. But, the thing is Joseph did just say he had a chance. He tried to defend him, but he did just say he had a chance. And actually, this last stream we did last week, he said he thought his chance was even less, because instead of it happening in Texas where you need, I believe it was 7 out of, what was it, 11 out of 12, it was taking place in California where you only need 7 out of 12. So he did say the chances were less, and he probably would have backed out of his charity bet with Tony, but that's regardless. See, I can be fair while also joking around. Good morning, everybody. By the way, I did not say good morning individually. This is just ironic as fuck, right? Just ironic. Punk Trace, thank you so much. Robert, could you get that for me? Or Hooded, I saw you earlier. Please. because I am on OBS. Doesn't a snowball have a chance in hell? I mean, for about 3 minutes, right? For about 3 minutes. The thing is I actually fully did not expect him to settle in this manner, right? Because there is a reason why this was originally, if you guys remember, not served. Punk, thank you so much. I read Wonder Woman #1 yesterday, and it was really good. I recommend that comic, Scarlet Couture. It's a really good comic. Okay, I'm Googling it right now. Scarlet Couture comic. Oh, it's by, let's see, Des Taylor. Oh, it looks really good. Ooh. I like the art. Okay, I'm gonna look this up after stream. I love the art. It's very clean. Beautiful. Okay. So the reason why I fully did not expect Eric to settle at this point was because if you guys remember, he actually had a chance to settle, to not have this originally served. Before, when we first found out about this, it had not been served. Also, thank you, Punk. I did not say that. I was looking on my phone, Joseph. I can only do so many things at once with this program. So when Eric July initially got this whole situation come about, he made a video, right? Which is actually really weird because I still seen it up. I checked this morning. I thought maybe that was part of what now the settlement has not, they haven't worked out all the details. So I do expect that video will be going by the wayside very quickly by the time this is done. So they did not serve this initially. They gave him time to have this not happen whatsoever, to save him money, to save him his rock star lawyer fees. They gave him time in order to not ever have this served in court. You guys do remember this, correctly? This is why I thought he would not settle. Because he had already been given a time where he could have saved thousands of dollars, where he could have worked out more beneficial terms in his favor. And now, only after he has been served, only after he has, on very, very thin lines of defaming the company, has he decided to settle. I cannot believe it. It's hilarious, but I cannot believe it. So let's read this and see what we think about it. The parties stipulate, subject to court approval, that the deadline to respond to the initial complaint. Now, this was originally, the first deadline was in November. He did get an extension up until yesterday, so that it be extended further than December 4th, 2023. Now they're extending it to December 19th, 2023. They are working on this together. That would have been Eric's second extension and likely would have not been approved without it also being requested by the International School of Ministry. Now, this extension of time is the second such extension that exceeds a combined 30 days. Yeah. The parties request the extension of time because they have engaged in mediation and reached a settlement in principle. So these two, and it does make sense, have been working behind the scenes and have reached a settlement. They are working out everything. I mean, I'm assuming that this would have went a lot longer in court, and I don't know. See, I do remember when we watched that original video of the lawsuit, right? He was saying they wanted some sort of sensorial ownership of it. They wanted to be able to say, you know, ISOM can do this, but can't do that because of the ISOM name. They wanted to be able to censor it in some manner. And that's, and any artist, any writer would not want that. I can totally understand that, right? But with that being said, I do think that he probably has caved. We'll have to wait till the 19th to actually know for sure. But he's definitely reached a settlement agreement, meaning one of two things is my guess is going to happen. He either is paying a licensing fee in order to keep that name, or he is making it so we can take a look at his we can kind of maybe get an idea. But if he is getting rid of that name, he's likely probably trying to sell everything he possibly can right now with that. Because once the 19th hits, he will no longer be able to sell anything that has ISOM on it if he's not doing a licensing. His lawyer probably told him to settle, Sultan says. I completely agree. But he should have, like I said earlier, he should have done this before this was even served. Before this was even served. Like, his lawyers probably looked at this and went, yeah, the case is solid, ironclad. Like, it was very clear. So, let's not make this worse than what it needs to be, right? Let's not make this worse than what it needs to be. What is, oh my God, Joseph. You should have just came on, you fucking pussy. No, they agreed to negotiate. No settlement until the papers are final. A-duh. A-duh. Thank you, Captain Obvious. He could also agree to pay past damages based on what the ministry demanded and scrap the ISOM solo series while keeping the character. He could have also licensed out that name, right? Or he could also license out that name. But again, that would give the ministry a bit of ability to dictate what that character does, right? That would have given a bit to them of what that does. So I don't know. Eric's man card has been revoked. Oh my God. I feel less bad when people say my nerd card has been revoked than my fucking man card. Okay, well, as a dude, like if I got my girl card, never mind. Oh my God. Holy crap. Holy crap. Okay, let's keep reading this. I think my cats are fighting in the other room. My guess is Hush is trying to hump Bane. Okay. The parties have exchanged a draft settlement agreement are in the process of trying to reach a written or a final written agreement to dismiss the case. In order to preserve the court resources, this short further extension of time is jointly requested. That's what I was saying earlier, right? Girl cards don't get revoked. You just get called a bitch. Okay, that's fair. That's fucking fair, right? That's fair. I'm used to that. Okay, so this is what I said earlier. I don't know. Like, obviously, every time I talk about this situation, I say, I am not a lawyer. Obviously, I am giving you just my opinions here. But I don't think they would have probably given Eric alone another extension because he already had one. So I'm assuming that being jointly requested is probably what saved him here. And it definitely is going to help save the court some time. It really bothers me that this is so small. And then if I make it any bigger, it doesn't work. I need to redo all of this. I wonder if I put it like that. I guess we could put it like that. But then the live... I just need to redo this whole fucking thing. Oh, it bugs me. All talk, no bite makes Eric July get on all fours. Oh my God! I'm not finished reading that, Hooded. I'm not gonna finish reading that. That's hilarious, though. So, let's talk about possibilities here. Because this is where I am very curious about it. I am very curious what could happen from here. Joseph said, I just parked. Want to leave me a link? Yeah, I can send you a link, but it's got to be through StreamYard. So we'll be doing the audio a little funky here. Hold on. Let me send you one. It'll just take me a second. I also want to talk about... eventually about GTA6, Yellowflash attacking, or BLERD attacking Yellowflash, or vice versa, whatever you want to say. And maybe do some rank sets. Maybe not. I'm not really super worried about that. J-O. Okay, there it is. All right. I sent you a link. You won't be able to, because I'm doing it through StreamYard, you won't be able to, see it, but, oh my God, figure drawing. That is fucking hilarious, because you know it's coming, right? Let's give Joseph a minute here to see if he actually joins or if he's just talking shit. I'll be there in about 5 minutes. Oh, I thought you were there now. Okay, I'll keep talking. So I'm super excited for GTA 5 or 6, right? I guess what happened is it got leaked yesterday at some point. Now I have no idea because I was down all fucking day with a terrible migraine. I'm still half out of it, I swear to God. But, so they ended up releasing it early. Mind you, it was supposed to drop this morning anyway, so I was going to cover it no matter what. The trailer looked insane, and we're going to take a look at it. Don't worry. But, I fully expected people to say it was woke. I am waiting for it. It's coming, and you guys know it. Florida is ripe for GTA fodder, right? And they had the crazy Karen in there. Oh, I don't want to talk too much about it yet, but it's fucking great. It's so good. It's so good. I'm so excited. And it isn't woke. No, of course not. Of course not. But it's led by a woman. Todd, are you listening, Todd? It's led by a woman. How dare they? Right? Okay. So while we wait for Joseph, they already started the woke thing. Shut up. Oh my God. I haven't seen it yet. Again, I was down. I could not handle yesterday as a person. But still, I can't wait for it. And, I'm a little disappointed. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little disappointed that we still got to wait till 2025. Or is that just me? I fully expected it to be available next year. 2025? Fine. If it's that good. And I don't expect them to release a product either, NRS, I'm looking at you. NRS, I'm looking at you. I expect them, after all these years, to release a product that is completely done. That is completely done. Maybe a patch here and there, but you know what I'm saying. Just not just functional, right? Okay. So what do we expect to be done here? I think I just heard Joseph. I did. So what's
Hey,
it
how you
feel like to be wrong so often?
doing? How you do? What are we looking at right now, by the way?
You
I
can't
can see
see it.
you. No, I
Okay.
can't see anything. I see us.
Okay, actually I can share my screen so you can see. I'll just share my
Okay.
entire screen.
All right. Well, while you're doing that, let me diffuse some of your propaganda. First off, I never said Eric was going to win. I only said he has a chance, but he's a quitter and he's a wimp. He has all the he has all the balls in the world when he wants to fight these imaginary political opponents invading comics. And as long as people are willing to give him money to do so, but when he
Yep.
has a chance to make real sacrifices, suddenly his balls go all the way back in and he just runs away.
Yep. Yeah. Like he that's actually a really, really good way to put it. I like it because he
It's the
literally
only way to put it.
his whole channel is dedicated to the haters, dedicated to fighting these imaginary SJ, not imaginary, there's some, but like
Right.
obviously going overboard with the SJWs in comics, da 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 da. But when it comes to actually something he could fucking do, he pusses out and puts his tail between his legs like a little girl. That's a terrible insult, but you know what I mean.
Oh, bullshit. He's a fraud, plain and simple. I never had really strong words to say about him. And you honestly, I'm really upset that it went like this because I really wanted to do the mock trial. I'm on my cell phone
I
right now. I
mean, why
can't switch
couldn't we
over
though?
to. If you still want to, sure. Honestly, we might as well.
Right.
Okay, in
Like
that case, I won't.
we're taking it the mock trial further than he had the balls to. Shut up. I don't care. If
Okay, then
Tony's
let's
still
do
in,
that.
I'm in.
Okay, I'm so glad because I was going to read my opening statements to you guys, and I I could I could do worse things to him than the settlement could. I promise.
What do you think? So that's what kind of what I wanted to talk about. Anyways, what do you think this settlement's gonna entail?
It's more because you remember the paperwork closes with the ministry asking for dam. We didn't go over it on the stream, but if you go back to the bottom of it, the ministry's paperwork closes with what they're asking for in court, like past damages based on the 4 offenses cited. So what they would do instead of that, what they were probably going to do, they were probably going to look at what they would have asked for in court, and they're going to ask for a fraction of that, but it's going to come out differently. So it's not. This isn't like a jury demanding or a jury saying Eric is liable. And now remember, this is all out of court. A settlement, by its
Right.
definition, is an out of court agreement. The court will acknowledge that it was determined out of court, but that's not the same as saying the court has ruled on this. So it's
Right.
not.
They
It's
come to it together and then
right.
it prevents them going
Yeah.
further in court.
So if based on what they were asking, because they were asking for past damages. So I'm guessing that Eric is going to have to pay some kind of damages based on, well, yeah,
Absolutely,
based
yes.
on the
Yeah.
the trademark similarities. And I imagine this just means the character is scrapped because if this now is effectively an extension of the ministry, that means he would have to do what the ministry wants, and that goes against everything he said Rippaverse Comics was about.
I mean, do
That's
you
my
really think he's going to be a man of his word? That's the real
not
question.
anymore.
No.
Well, okay, no, not anymore. Look, when I first heard him, the first time I saw him, he was talking to Gothics before she was even Christian. Um, so he's done. I know he's done at least 2 interviews with her. There may be more. Now I
Mhm.
remember what he said, and I was taking him I was taking him at his word a bit, because this was also at a time where the political divides that you're seeing online, major media, which it's now a cultural infection. It's been a cultural infection for a while. Let's make no mistake about it. So at the time, I didn't think it would get here yet. I figured this was a direction that things were going, but I didn't have the same conclusions then I did now. So I'm just listening to this guy tell me that comics are being polluted, they're being destroyed,
Right.
storytelling is being ruined. This is I'm taking him at his word, and it's believable to me because of all the changes that are going on at the time. So I hadn't even confirmed any of it myself. And this man saying he's going to start his own business, he's going to preserve the integrity of comics. And all I did, and I just, like I said, took him in at his word. I just thought he was going to give it a shot. So in my mind, I would say he needs to get off the ground before you can draw a conclusion. If you want cause and effect, and I hope I'm not too loud to the audience. I'm not even looking at the chat right now. I didn't set that
Oh
up,
yeah,
so
let me
forgive
know
me.
how Joseph's audio is, guys, because I
Yeah.
can mess with it in stream or OBS.
Okay, cool. Because I'm on the cell phone right now, and this is where I have the most difficulties. But anyway, bottom line, if Eric says something like that, you got to give him time. You got to let cause and effect unfold before you can draw a meaningful conclusion.
Right.
All right. Okay, so that was back then. Hold on a second. Sorry about that. I had to toggle something. Anyway, so he's got to he's got to he needs some time before you can actually draw a meaningful conclusion. He had that time. And remember, from day one, he said he was going to be defending the First Amendment because the liberals ain't gonna. And the fights for the First Amendment that matter most are the ones that take place in court. So he threw away a chance
The
to fight for
liberals
the
ain't
First
gonna.
Amendment.
Those damn liberals, they're gonna do everything wrong. That's the problem with channels like this. Like, either side of the thing, either side of the
Mhm.
aisle. When you hyperbolize an entire group of people and say, well, these people aren't gonna fight for your rights, these people aren't gonna do it, instead of looking at it, and we've talked about this back and forth before with representation. Um,
Right.
when you have the worst representing the entire, like, they'll pick and choose. They do this with comics. They
Mm-hmm.
do this with people. You'll constantly see like those shorts where it's like the person that is clearly mentally ill that shaved half of their side of head, then the put the rest of it every color of the fucking rainbow and is barely talking English because they're making up words. And they're like,
Mm-hmm.
this is all liberals. Like, stop the cap. That's like
Right.
saying every white supremacist is all conservatives. It's so ridiculous.
No, it is unfortunate. I'm not trying to pick on you, even though I should. It is unfortunate that your channel didn't. It did lose some popular because ever since the
For
the
sure
whole
it did.
the first strike, yeah, the first time you had issues with YouTube over Amber Heard's trial, yeah, unfortunately, you did lose some momentum because this chat highlights quite a bit of individual differences on people who will generally are
Well, and
not.
I also won't. I'm also very much so not of the mind. Like, if I was much more hive minded, I think I could generate a lot more because you get that echo chamber going and people love it, right?
Right,
People love to be
right.
told what they already think.
But you
So,
also remember from our first conversations, my argument, when that was back when you were just taking disagreements before I was even a regular here. My argument had always been that individual differences are being disregarded in favor of two popular ideas that aren't even complete.
oh yeah.
Remember that was always been my argument. So yeah, so anybody here, if they spent enough time here with the right mind, I think that they would have seen a really good example. But I'm just saying it's unfortunate it turned out to be a small example long run. But that's complications. I agree. YouTube's a little bit picky,
YouTube's a
with their own
bitch.
rules.
What are you talking about?
Right. Hold on a second. I need to toggle my audio filter.
Toggle your audio filter.
Sorry about that. Because
What?
there's an echo cancellation filter that we get. But for some reason, for me, when I use it through the cell phone, every few minutes, your voice will just distort until I turn it off
Oh,
or on.
that's so weird.
It's a weird, yeah, it's a weird thing. So anyway, what I
So do
want
you
people
think
to
he's gonna get rid of what's gonna happen? Okay. Here's the question I have. If we're talking about merch, right? Because that was a big part
Mhm.
of what we went over in those papers was that merch.
Right. Right. Well, my big thing. So now by settling, he now he's going to agree to some
He's at
kind
their
of
mercy a little bit. He's
yeah.
at their
So
mercy a lot.
effectively he belongs to somebody else for the moment. So my guess, see, here's the thing: he already had all that merchandise made. He's got to do something with it. He's got to sell it. He's got to sell it, and now he owes somebody else money. So that stuff, if the ministry is a thinking organization, they're gonna let him sell, but they're also gonna take a portion of that for themselves.
Rip a
So
okay.
ISOM merch. So the what was his name? Avery Isom Knox, or Avery Silman. No, Avery Silman.
Avery
Sorry. So
Silman, yep.
right. So the Avery Silman merch that we're looking at here.
No, they
This
can't see
stuff
it.
still.
Here. Let me
We're looking at it.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
trying to see. Let me move
Okay, you're
this.
just organizing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um how do I
But yeah, like you're seeing right there, guys, there's an extension until the 19th. So they're just it real settlements take a while. It's phase after phase. But basically they're just telling the court that they agreed to enter negotiations.
Why does
A real settlement could take longer than, a few
ISOM
weeks.
has a sign in? Okay, that must be for if you're like a
What did the shipping alert say? What could that have been updated since the
oh, I don't know.
since
Let
the
me
agreement?
do it again. It says orders placed in the store will not be shipped until after we complete fulfillment for Alpha Core number 1. Okay. So you're not even getting if you go on his website right now and you order this shirt right here. You want this shirt? $25? Okay. You will not get it until Alpha Core ships. Hold on, I want to show you something hilarious about this.
But didn't Alpha Core start shipping last night? He
Yes,
has a
but it
post.
doesn't close until January 20th. So, all the orders that are made through January 20th, somebody can order an Alpha Core January 19th and they're going to get it before you get your fucking shirt. That is unbelievably ridiculous.
Maybe that's related to the settlement negotiations. Maybe.
Oh.
Maybe because it reminds me of because one of my friends went through a divorce, and then when here's the thing, just divorces and settlements, they both take a long time, and where money involved and where court papers are involved, generally speaking, whatever your lawyer is, he's going to tell you don't make any moves because a wrong move now can be interpreted as a breach of the agreement later. Like my buddy, look at this. He had a friend going through a divorce, and this guy had a kick-ass Ford truck, and my friend, business owner, he wanted the truck, and he told his friend wanted 10 grand for the truck. So my friend said, I'll give you 10 grand cash right now, but his lawyer said, no, don't do it because you're in the middle of a divorce,
Right.
and that can be interpreted as an attempt to breach the terms. And so if it's similar to that, there's a good chance Eric is not going to make any typical moves right now, especially because his bread and butter, his baby Avery Silman, that name doesn't really belong to him anymore, at least at
Avery
this time, as
Silman
far as I
does,
know.
though, right?
Well, yeah, Avery's well, but you know what I mean, though, the
ISOM.
ISOM
Yes.
character. So yeah, the superhero ISOM name
So, hold
at
on.
this moment.
How is that going to affect the book Alpha Core if ISOM is in that book?
Well, my understanding, because he's not going to use ISOM as
the title.
as the front, yeah. So he could still, and that's the thing, and this is consistent with court determinations that sure names for fact are not trademarked solely. There are a lot of full names there and other unique names that are trademarked, but it does limit how he presents the character. My understanding, he can still call the character ISOM. And he could even
possibly not have it as the title anymore.
Yeah, there will be no titles, and that is
unless he licenses it, which would mean he would be paying a monthly fee to the International School of Ministry, which means they would have, again, some sort of censorship over what that character does. And that is mind-blowing to me that, like you said, he's all willing to fight for this and fight for that, but he's not even willing to fight for his fucking character?
He's
Like,
not
what are
willing
you
to fight for a lot. No, he had fight in him as long as people were giving him money to fight with.
Exactly, but when
Now
he's
that
gotta
he
put
has
his,
a chance,
yep.
but here's the thing: now that he has a chance to make sacrifices and show us what he really stands for, yeah, he walked away. Now I'm gonna put a limitation on my own argument. Civil trials are expensive. Okay, that's understood. But I stand by what I said. He had balls to fight until he had to make real sacrifices.
Civil trials are expensive, but he's made like I don't know, something like $7 to $8 to $9 million from this.
All right, yeah, but well, either way. Point being, he had balls to fight until he had to make real sacrifices and prove he stands for something. Everything was supposed to be about the First Amendment and such, and the real First Amendment fights take place in courts, and it would have started with the civil trial. With the civil trial, even if he lost, win or lost, he should have used the appeal, and he should have taken it all the way to the top. That's why I closed our last stream by saying Eric needs to fight this all the way to the top, because a fighting chance is still the chance.
Yep, and just like that, he put his tail between his legs and he ran. Robert, thank you so much. Going off on the ministry statement beforehand, how much do you want to bet part of the agreement will be for him to tone down his hostility on social media? And he said he was stepping back to work on Ripiverse. Maybe it's connected. Maybe.
That also depends.
But I don't think that they can really censor him in that manner.
No, he's not an employee. It's an agreement. It's like more like a partnership. You know, the ministry doesn't really control him necessarily. But they have an agreement. They would have an agreement. It'd be more like a partnership. There are terms for you, terms for me, and that's part of the reason settlements
don't. The characters can do. There's also gonna have to be terms on how he, this character interacts with stuff, right? This character in issue 2 went to hell and like opened up that whole new, like the issue 1 went from literally being a street level character to issue 2 being this weird.
I'm so mad we're probably not going to see ISOM 3 because I was laughing at ISOM 2.
Right, it was bad. I brought this character up because isn't this just essentially Black Scarlet? Isn't this a tokenized Scarlet? I mean, tell me I'm wrong.
What definition of token are we using?
Oh, his. We're always using his when we're making fun of Eric.
And I still don't know what the hell we're talking about.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. His definition of tokenization changes with basically the argument in front of him.
So I don't know which selective argument to enforce, ma'am. I guess I'm just not the one to ask.
It's tokenized Scarlet. With a witch's hat. The ugliest hat ever.
Well, here's the thing. When I'm getting at though with ISOM 2, I was looking forward to ISOM 3 because here's the thing, because I laughed at him.
What are those?
Bowling shoes.
Oh my God, they're as bad as Harleys in Gotham Knights.
Hey Raymond, do your dance shoes look like that?
Oh my God.
I know. I'm yelling at him like he can hear me, like he needs that to hear me. Anyway. I'm still here. I'm gonna set up my laptop. We're gonna keep talking.
Okay.
But there is a point I wanted to make about trademark law in general. I can't, because I have some of the sources I need in my phone. I can't go back and forward like this, but so this is the thing.
Stuff like
go ahead.
Oh, this is on sale for $10 from $30. Oh, I wonder why. I can't possibly guess why money. This is 66% off, guys.
I don't know. It's his what is it? His discount Darius is on sale.
Yes, Darius. We've got Darius and Scarlet in the same universe. Oh my God! Stop it! All of his ISOM stuff is on crazy sale. His ISOM
Wow.
#1 shirt is on sale for $8.
Everything about him must go, including
Oh,
him. Shit, he's not going to exist much longer. This is also what I was trying to say. I think part of this agreement ultimately means the character will either be phased out or so severely transformed that he's unrecognizable.
let's see about
So
the
he
books
can.
on sale for ISOM #1 is cheaper right now than if you backed the campaign. That is a slap in your fans. People backed this book at $35 fucking dollars, and now you have it on sale for $20. Tell me you are a terrible businessman without telling me you are a terrible businessman.
Uh, hey, maybe we really will see it at dollar stores in no time.
I mean, I understand why he's selling it because he's probably got to get rid of the stock that he has, and it's probably going to go even. Like, if you're seriously listening and interested in this, wait a week, right? It's going to
At
be
least, yeah.
cheaper. But that is horrible thing, a fucking horrible thing to do to your whales. And I hate this pops up every single time I click on your website. It pops up. Stop it. What else is on here that's got? Okay, ISOM #2. Let's see. ISOM #2 is still $35. Oh, that is awful. What is that? Why is that?
I
Why?
can't. The screen for me is too small. I can't see. You got to tell them what you're seeing. You got to tell them what's blowing your mind right now.
It is ISOM shoulders. They are.
Oh, they're he. Fucking shoulders are bigger than his ass mullet.
Oh my. Oh my god. Oh my god. It is so bad. Holy shit. Well, still $35 for this one. I bet it's different. I bet it changes. See, that cover is not too bad. It looks, at least, like the anatomy is correct there. That one is.
Here's the thing: based on the ink, the shading, the detail he put into it, he actually isn't a bad artist, but he's bad at
Cliff
writing stories
Richards?
that are going to last forever. Oh, this
Cliff,
wasn't. Oh, Eric didn't draw this.
no, Eric doesn't. No. Eric hires. And Cliff
Oh, okay. I
Richards
honestly
is a
missed
bad
that.
artist. Have you seen the stuff that I necessarily haven't talked about it because I don't like a lot of it's on social media, but have you seen the stuff that Tony's put out with like the truck? The reason why it's
The truck.
yeah, oh,
No,
I bet
unfortunately,
you, Robert,
Tony's
you can
streams
find it.
lately are 5 hours a pop.
I
Yeah,
know.
I can't keep. I was on one of them for 3 hours, and I actually was falling asleep periodically. That's not so much on Tim on him. Tony's like living Ambien. Okay, let's face facts. He's a lovable guy, but his voice has a way of putting you to sleep, doesn't it?
Yeah, and the problem is there's so
you,
I
you don't
always
have to
watch
say
the
yeah. Let
replay.
him come at me.
I always watch the replay because
Oh, okay.
it's always like at midnight too.
Yeah. Well, because wait, yeah, it starts. I forget. So for you, it starts at midnight. Yeah, me, it's a lot sooner. No, he starts for you. It should be closer to 10 o'clock. But yeah, he'll go all the way on till the next morning for you. Way into
Yeah,
the next
like the
morning for
one
you.
was I clicked on it and it was like 7 hours long. I'm like, okay, I can't. But the reason why I bring that up is because there is pictures that have been found that are like 3D
His clothes are
models.
on, right?
Well, yes, that is true. But there's
Okay.
like 3D models that are clearly put in the book, and they're taken from. And I'm not an artist, so I don't know much about it. But 3D models that are clearly taken, put into the book, and nothing new is added. They didn't even move the wheels. They didn't. It was just absolutely ridiculous. The things with the art and those shoulders, I can't get over it. It's so bad. Stop it. Wonder whose cover that is. Let's see it. Does it have?
I
Oh, it
think
just
his
says.
ears would be killing him.
Oh, stop with this. Okay, so one cover, it just says written. It doesn't even have who drew the covers. That is so disrespectful. That is so disrespectful to your artist. Seriously? Okay, that's horrible. Unless they're all done by Cliff Richards, which could explain the massive shoulders. Regardless, they're all on sale, you guys. They're all on sale. You pretty sure it's EVS? Okay. It's bad. That EVS's art is so good, but
This would be the first item under $1 in any dollar store in years.
I Some Fighting poster is now on sale for $20. In case you want to, that's not too bad. Looks a little effeminate, but it's not too bad. That is actually funny. Hello, Steph.
All right, in a few more minutes, I'm going to switch over to the laptop. But I want to get back to the legal argument I was making, because something I tried to highlight in, last time we had this talk and you just wouldn't let me.
Oh my God. Lies. This website
well,
is
no, I'm not going to get you. No, I'm not going to get you started. I want this to be productive.
Okay, go. Talk.
Motherfucker, hold on, my fucking audio filters.
More excuses.
All right, if you can hear me now, okay. I'm going to switch over to the laptop in a minute. I just need to grab something before I go back over there. But anyway, everything comes down to, trademark law versus First Amendment. And what I don't think a lot of people actually understand, these laws have always been at odds with each other. Because freedom of speech, art is protected as speech, because written speech is protected just like verbal speech, but it doesn't have to be coherent. So drawing whatever the hell you want is a First Amendment protection.
Right.
And then it comes down, now you have trademark laws, which are considered part of Congress's right to regulate trade across the states. But the problem being, when they grant trademark protections, they're basically saying, in other words, as they grant more and more trademark protections, at some point you get to realize the government is implicitly saying, if you're new to this, you can still say what you want to say, but you got to say it a certain way, which goes against the foundation of First Amendment. The government is supposed to tell us how to express ourselves. So what happens, the courts try to pick and choose what they like more. Do they like trademark law more, or do they like our speech more? Obviously, they like trademark law more. And there's something I was trying to highlight last week. Do you remember we talked about the Jack Daniels case and how it was a unanimous decision?
Yes.
Okay.
And I also remember in my comment section, you kind of getting schooled. Remember that?
On what?
Oh, on that thing.
What?
Oh,
What?
I don't know.
The hearsay letter?
No, not just that. What was it? The beauty company, and then the
whole
Jack
reason
Daniels
I presented that case was to show you guys. You had the case where people looked at, because everybody's tendency was just to look at the similarity of the logos and then think that's how the cases are determined. And that's what I was trying to show you. The similarities of the logos aren't enough. It's compare and contrast, but you guys don't like Eric, so all you did was look at the similarities. You didn't even try to contrast. That was the point I was trying to make. These cases are actually unpredictable.
We literally did when it came to
no, I did both. I was the one saying which logo has the globe.
Who ended up being correct in this situation?
But this isn't how corrections are determined. No, no, no. No, you don't get to do that this time. No,
I totally do.
No, if you want to make a legal argument, then it's up to the jury, and there was no jury because Eric's a quitter.
You just wait. Was it my headphones? Can you guys hear him?
It might be my volume. Are they saying they can't hear me?
No, I couldn't hear you. I could hear you very faintly, but.
Okay, well, forgive me. Everything's fading out. Give me one more minute. I actually have everything set up.
Oh, wait. I think it was my headphones.
Okay. Give me a second. I have everything set up.
Thank you, DCAMAAG. I don't know how to say that.
I don't know his name, but welcome, sir. All right, yeah, give me just a minute. I'm going to finally switch over to the laptop. I'm just getting my phone charger.
Switch over. You're fine.
Give me 1 minute.
You guys, you are fine. Okay, so what we're looking up at here is 10 Years of Death, which is a book that Cliff Richards drew. And you can see I want you to take a look at this right here. This is the end table you have here, the couch, right? Just take a look at what you see here. Now let's switch over to ISOM number 1, where you clearly are set in the same. Okay, you're in here twice. Holy shit balls.
That was me locking a door. Sorry about that. You can hear me, right?
Yes.
All right. Audience, let me know if I'm quiet. I can actually see the chat this time.
Okay.
Or say anything important. Go ahead, keep doing it.
But okay. So what I was showing them was 10 Years to Death. It was a book by Cliff Richard. You can see the end table. You can see the 3D model that he used. Now we switch over to ISOM number 1. It's the same house, same 3D model. It does look like he colored the couch differently until, which is weird because from ISOM number 1 to ISOM number 2, the couch actually changed colors.
The couch is changing colors because this guy doesn't shower.
Wait, so it turned blue?
It just
and apparently
no, it's turning green. It's molasses.
That looks like such an uncomfortable position too, and he's making no dents in the couch. I mean, he's magic. We figured it out. One of
it's a solid rock couch.
Right. One of his powers is that he can float for a nap. His naps. He can, what's it called? He can levitate.
Yeah, levitation.
Yes.
It's like, do you remember that whole thing that a lot of people would swear by? It's like something that witches supposedly did, where you get a bunch of one of you is laying flat on the ground, and then the rest of you would just lightly touch each other, not touch each other,
light
but
as
touch.
a feather, stiff as a board.
Yeah, you remember that whole thing?
Yes, I totally remember that. Okay, and here's the truck I was trying to tell you about earlier, right? So here is the model of the truck, right? Here is the base model for the truck. Now this truck appears a lot into this book, I think 3 or 4 times, and he literally just traces this. He doesn't change the position of the tire. He doesn't change anything. The artist he picked, oh my god, was it Greg Land that used to do this and trace? Let me look it up. I think it was Greg Land. He used to trace like porn faces on like X-Men characters.
Why? For shits?
No, just because that's how he got his models, was through like weird porn shit.
Oh, okay. So the man just knows how to make a living then. Okay.
Oh, he doesn't even trace it. It's a 3D. Okay, he doesn't even trace it. At least Greg Land. I'm pretty sure it was Greg Land. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but.
Are you sure I'm in there? I know I'm not on your screen. I don't see any comments from the chat. That's why I'm wondering if I'm even.
You're not going to see the comments from the chat. Okay. I'm just using StreamYard for audio.
Okay, good. Okay, so all right, then never mind. Then I won't look for that.
I've got OBS up.
All right,
it was
so
Greg Land. Okay, Greg Land used to literally like take these, and don't get me wrong, his art was gorgeous, like for what it was. But you could find like cosplayers at conventions that were Tony Stark, and he would trace them and put them in a book, like not in an honoring kind of way, like in what he did kind of way, and like he would take like literal porn faces and put them in books as like Storm, like it was bad. It was hilarious.
I'm following.
It was bad. But yeah, so that's what he does. He just takes the 3D rendering, puts it in the book, adds a little bit of. Did he add the?
And so he
didn't even add that. Okay.
So basically, he has filters to make it look like.
Yes.
Like a hand drawn look. So they're like the shading below the doors between the 2 tires.
Exactly.
Not below what's circled. Okay, so there's a good chance even none of that was even added by hand.
It's very likely it was not, actually.
Okay.
Yes. So here's the Greg Land thing. This is exact porno crooks in comic books. Like That's a good title. I'm curious if there's any comparison. This is just breaking down how he would trace everything. So here's Sandra Bullock, Psylocke, right?
That looks good, though.
I mean, yeah. I love this cover, don't get me wrong, but obviously it was taken from Sports Illustrated models, right? Like, this is what he did. Oh my god, the many faces of the thing. This is ISOM all over again. This
the
is
many O faces of the thing.
This is his only face, fucking Greg Land. Don't get me wrong, some of his stuff is really cool, but this is all he did in order.
They should make something like that for the thing, where his different facial expressions, even though they're all the same, happy, sad, disturbed, unsettling. It's just like all the same, scared, frightened, elated, aroused. They're all the exact same face.
This is a really good breakdown, actually. If you guys want to, it's in the chat. If you guys want to take a look at what I'm talking about later, but this is what Cliff Richards does, and it's pretty fucking sad. But also, you kind of have to. Okay, so when it comes to art, like, I am not an artist. I can't say a whole lot with this situation. But I think if I wanted to be an artist and do stuff like this, I could make it happen. I'm good enough with 3D graphics and graphic design in general that I could fake my way through this shit. If I
like editing
this. Yes.
Yeah, you like editing, so you might as well give it a shot.
But
I actually do want to see what you can do.
But the thing is this feels cheap, right? It feels a little cheap to do stuff like this.
But here's the thing: if you suck at drawing and you have an option, just use it. That's what Eric did. Yeah, look how far it got him.
Eric was like, "We're gonna go cheap. We're gonna go Cliff Richards. We don't care about the 3D models and the possible usage of AI." Now, I don't know if there's any AI usage, but I'm not a fan. Not a fan of AI at all. Like, it's cool to mess around with, but I would much rather have a real artist.
All right. So anyway, the point I was trying to make earlier, forgive me, narrowing it down.
I totally got off track. I apologize.
No, it's okay. It's your stream. I'm a guest in your house. Okay, I actually do have fun here, believe it or not. Anyway, the point I was trying to make about trademark law, and like people are pointing and laughing at Eric, and I got a few things to say about him too. If we're really going to do the mock trial, let me know, because I'll save my opening statements, because I promise you.
No, I still think it's a great idea.
Okay, if Tony agrees, yeah. If not, then I'll read the opening lines later, because I swear to you, this was going to be immense for your channel. Anyway, the point I was trying to make, though, what people don't understand, the language of the law actually enforced, the Lanham Act specifically, because it highlights exceptions to the protections, including parity specifically, and that's what courts have been enforcing. And here's the problem: they're using congressional law to inform the limitations of constitutional principles. It's not supposed to matter if the Lanham Act says that Congress will not grant protections that conflict with parity, because it doesn't matter. They're not supposed to, because the right says that speech shall not be infringed, and parity is an example of speech that shall not be infringed. So right. What happens, though, courts pick and choose the limitations of parity, so then our rights get hacked away at. So when you and I were talking about the Jack Daniels case, you had a unanimous decision and you saw the chew toy resembling a Jack Daniels bottle, where, again, no way in hell any sensible person, I don't even think an alcoholic would mistake the two, right? Honestly. Okay, but they said, and part of the reason for the argument for trademark dilution in favor of Jack Daniels was the presence of dog shit somewhere on the chew toy. It's not plain. It's like it's a black white drawing. It's part of the logo. And right. they basically, what happened there is the expression, the First Amendment expression, tarnishes the image of the trademark. Now, for people who want to understand where I'm coming from, finally, look up how many politicians have their names trademarked. So, in other words, certain expressions of parody can now be taken as the kind of expression that tarnishes a trademark, and now politicians are protected. And that's the kind of stuff that guys like Eric, if he actually stands for anything he says, that's the kind of stuff he should.
He doesn't though. We just
and like I said,
over like a puppy.
No, and again, I always said, like I was saying earlier, from the beginning, I said, give this man a chance to see where it really goes before you get a firm conclusion.
That's fair.
Now I have my firm conclusion. He's a quitter and a wimp and a fraud. Because he could have taken this higher. Okay, I reasonably expected, like I said, when I heard the case was going to be in California, I reasonably expected this could have resulted in liability for Eric. I just said he had a fighting chance. And even if he lost the trial, he should have definitely gone through appeals. Because, yes, you can appeal on First Amendment grounds. You can always do that.
Right.
It's just a question of whether or not the court believes you.
The problem is, and I'll show you guys what it says here again in this paper. Since I read it when you weren't here. Where is it? I've got all my stuff in here. It's just called image. Okay. Why is it not showing up? Window capture. There we go. The problem is we don't know exactly what's in this settlement. We can figure. Right. I mean, we can guess. There's really only two avenues that this is gonna go, but what I'm seeing here is somebody that for years promised to fight for you, right?
Mm-hmm. And he quit on all of you.
He quit in the first time he was actually challenged whatsoever. Because let's not pretend like some hater is a challenge, right?
No, this was his first real challenge.
Yeah, it's very easy for somebody with 500,000 subs to make a video about some hater, and they're going to, and it's a silencing tactic, right? Like when he threatened.
Oh, he threatened to expose you?
Yeah, right. Yeah. It's a silencing tactic, right?
Right. Well, this race, like you said, we don't know the terms. And truth be told, we may never know the full settlement terms because this isn't going to be public unless they want it.
Or no?
It's not going to be public unless they want it to be public. Because out of court, a settlement by definition is an out of court agreement. So because it's out of court, it's not public record.
Even though the court has to approve it or at least settle it?
Yeah. The court is only going to document that a settlement was reached. The terms, that it's up to them to actually expose it.
Okay. So that makes sense.
That depends. Yeah, there could be non-disclosure agreements and stuff like that. All that is legal in a settlement. So it's up to them to really tell us the truth of the matter. But the court isn't determining innocent or guilt. This is just determining that the two parties decided on some kind of agreement out of court. Does not, and I know people want to say it's a guilty thing because people say why do it if you're not guilty? Why do it if you
it's
don't
absolutely a guilty thing.
Well, hold on, because people say the same things about the right of silence in criminal trials, and the reason you stay silent is because sometimes cops try to use your words against you. You all know probably very well.
Silence and settling are two very different things.
They are different things, but they share a common argument here. They are actions people take to save themselves. Sometimes here's the thing, you guys have to understand, civil trials are not predictable. That's why I mentioned last time when I said that juries listen to both stories, decide which ones they like more. All right.
Right. Okay. Hold on.
That's a very
settling looks like guilt. Let's not even pretend. So, just using an example, I think it was Puff Daddy recently. I think it was him that settled with a girl because of sexual assault. Would you not say that looks pretty fucking shady?
Well, it looks suspicious, but then you look at the nature of the law. Like, so here's the thing. It also depends on how the law is written. And here's the thing: Puff Daddy has a public image.
Sure.
Of course, yeah. Okay, so
it's gonna look bad. It's
of course. Look,
why would you?
Yeah, a trial could look bad.
Pay money for something that you never did.
That's not the same thing. He could also be paying her just to stay quiet. Why? Now also keep this in mind. Some people
Makes you
say that
look
the
like a
settlement,
bitch.
and some people say the settlement makes her look like a fraud, because if she really wanted justice, she would take it all the way to court instead of settling.
Well, that's on a
Doesn't
criminal matter. I would agree to that.
but Juan, you can't settle in criminal trials. In criminal trials, it's the government versus the people.
What I'm saying is what he did or she alleged he did was criminal as compared to copyright infringement.
Let me also use Donald Trump's recent case. I forgot about this until recently.
Oh yeah. With the
30 years later,
Yeah.
and based on everything spoken, yeah, Donald Trump, he could have settled. He would have looked bad. He went to trial. He still looked bad. It's like, say what you will about
No,
Donald Trump. I don't care for the guy
He went to trial.
either.
He tried to defend himself. He at least
Right.
I'm not a Donald Trump fan, but the fact that he didn't settle to me speaks more volumes than somebody bending over and taking it in the ass.
Hold on. You said, hold on. Now, this is exactly what I'm trying to say. When settlements are not definitive, because people draw conclusions from them. First, you said a settlement is an acknowledgement of guilt. Now you're saying Donald should have settled. What are you trying to say?
I never said Donald should have settled.
You just said that a moment ago.
I literally said the exact opposite, Joseph. Pay attention.
You said the fact that he didn't settle
The fact that
was a
he
problem?
didn't settle shows that, to me, that at least he believes in his own words.
Okay, my mistake.
I got it.
Anyway.
Like, if he's fighting, and again, not a Donald Trump fan, think he's a douchebag, but if somebody comes up to you with 30-year-old allegations, I think you should probably fight that.
Right, but
If you're
this
innocent,
is what
obviously.
but this is what I'm getting at, especially with civil law. Bottom line, guys, the language of the law is what matters, and what gets enforced, and sometimes it's open to interpretation, to the point where juries are unpredictable. If you go to a bench trial, the judge can be unpredictable, your lawyers can be unpredictable, everything's unpredictable. It's to the point where sometimes the best thing to do is settle, just because it's less of a gamble. You can take a light amount of damage with the settlement just to avoid the possibility of severe amounts of damage coming out of the trial.
What severe amount of damage could Eric have had? Honestly.
Depends. That's what I'm saying. It depends on the jury and the arguments made.
He doesn't have the public persona of the other people we're talking about.
He doesn't.
So
but whether or not it doesn't matter.
He would have lost out on nothing. His fans, his
No,
whales
hold on.
would have backed him anyway.
No, because, well, remember, I saw him as his baby. He was supposed to be defending an image at the same time. Which, yeah, he sold it up. He gave it up. Bottom line, he gave it up. We established that. We don't have to revisit that, though. But you're asking a question fundamentally, whether it's you, me, Eric, anybody on Earth, why would they settle instead of go to trial if they don't believe they did anything wrong? Because you have to understand how civil trials work. There is no presumption of innocence. I think this is also what confuses people. It's not like a criminal trial. There's no presumption of innocence for the defendant. In a criminal case, it's the government versus you, and they have to uphold the presumption of innocence. Civil trials are people versus people. It's not like that. In a civil trial,
It's very weird to me that you think settling is a good idea. Is that
let
what
me
you're
explain.
saying?
I'm saying that settling sometimes is better than the unpredictable nature of a jury. Is what I'm getting at.
Okay, in maybe a bigger sense, but not for Eric July. It goes against everything he supposedly stood for.
And no argument for me. No, I'm not trying to defend. I've already said he is a quitter, a wimp, and fraud.
Yes.
I said all three of those
absolutely.
things, and this is the first time you've ever heard me say anything that strong about him.
Yeah, you try to be objective more than where
I did.
my bias stands.
I did. I tried to be fair to everybody. And I said last time, I said the ministry has an argument. And so I said Eric does have First Amendment arguments, but he's got to use them. And that's what I was saying. In this case, the plaintiff, they have the burden of persuasion. They make the arguments. The defendant necessarily has the burden to refute, has the burden of counter argument. And anything that is not effectively argued against by Eric can be taken as evidence against him in a civil trial. It's a lot harder to filter out. The standards in a civil trial are very low, to the point where even if you reasonably believe you didn't do anything wrong whatsoever, the fact that a jury is unpredictable means you might actually be better off settling. It truthfully does not mean that Eric is necessarily guilty. How about the fact that he just didn't even want to fight?
No matter what, you just can't admit you're wrong.
I just said, what the hell else? I said everything. Who are you?
There is no reason why, and I can understand the other cases, but there's
whatever
no reason
you're
in this
smoking.
One. I'm not smoking anything.
It came from the lint filter.
Oh my god. Lint filter. What the fuck?
Do you have laundry machines?
Yes, I do. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I get it now. It took me way too long to get that. Right over my head. Oh my god. No, but Eric isn't one of those cases. There's no reason why he should have settled. And the problem with that idea is
the reason he settled is he's a fraud.
Yes, exactly.
No, hear that from me. Somebody who did not have strong words about this guy until last night. I saw Tony from the Geek Getaway. He did. Oh no, he didn't email me. Sorry. He has a community post highlighting this portion right here. That you have highlighted, showing that Eric is thrown in the towel.
Screenshotted this from and stole. Yep.
Okay. Right, and my name came up, so he asked, did he win the bet? Because now, for those who don't understand in full, me and Tony had a charity bet. The exact bet, before people continue to blow this up, the exact bet, I only said, and it comes from my statement solely, I said the jury would be split, and Eric would walk away from this. Tony didn't offer anything else specific. I said the jury would be split. There was no jury. Honestly, it's iffy as to whether or not this should have even been decided. But we never agreed that settlements are neutral. So that's why I said Tony wins. So it's a $50 charity bet. Tony gets to pick the charity. I'm paid. I got no excuses. So Tony, you let me know who I'm paying it to and when. And I think
that's a good bet though. Like, it's not like Tony's, it's charity. I think that's a great bet. But all right, let's talk.
I also want one more thing just to close off conversation around the bet that people are misrepresenting. I was going to pay the $50 anyway because he said charity bet.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
All right.
So there is. I keep trying to go back to this, but I keep getting sidetracked. What way do you think this is going? Do you think this is going, the ISOM name is dead, or do you think he is going to honestly pay money monthly or quarterly, however they do it, in order to keep that ISOM name? Because like you said earlier, it is his quote-unquote baby.
Oh, yeah, but here's the thing. Because ISOM never really got started, two comics almost about 2 years apart, right? 1 year or 2 years apart?
A solid year apart. And then Alpha Core before because it's supposed to be like a trilogy, right? So then they put Alpha Core, and then it's going to be, I'm assuming, ISOM 3, maybe?
All right. Well, bottom line, a character that never really got started within we'll say, in generously estimating 13 months, and it never really got started.
Right.
The character was never really alive.
Right.
So I would say, I think he's just better off scrapping the character. Just phase it out, and then that way he doesn't actually belong to the ministry anymore. He can just scrap everything with ISOM on it. Stop the merch. Once he actually, because here's the thing.
It's very clear that he's trying that already, right? Like,
yeah,
if I the shirt is down to $8. That's like Goodwill prices, guys.
It was $16 5 minutes ago, guys. So it's down to $8. Wait another 3 minutes, it'll be down to $7.
Like,
but yeah, that's the thing.
And I could say you could blame it on like what, Cyber Monday and all that, but we're way past that. So no, this is he's trying to get rid of this merch.
No, keep in mind. So they're in the middle of negotiations. Nothing's final. Truth be told, he could still just disagree with the settlement terms and let it go to default judgment.
That would be incredibly stupid.
That would be, but at this point, he already got leave of court, which means permission for non-standard procedures. So through leave of court, or in other words, extended permission, now they're going into settlement negotiations. So now they ask for an extension to the 19th so that the court knows what you're actually doing. again, the terms are not predictable yet, but based on this, I don't think this is about the holidays. I think this is Eric admitting that he owes somebody money. So I think what's going to happen to what you're going to see, you're going to keep seeing the sales because a portion of this money is going to go to the ministry, pursuant to the damages that they were requesting through
Okay,
court.
but now here's the next question. Is this going to go back? Will what he owes them, if they do, like, say he wants to keep the name, this is his baby, he wants to keep the name, and he's got to pay a licensing fee. Will it go back to the beginning with ISOM number 1, or would it be something brand new?
No,
Because
if he's
going to
owe
them more money then.
if he could continue, that depends on whether or not he would afford it. Since he's already got two comics going, and he still wants to pretend he stands for something, it'd be more likely in his interest to just keep going to ISOM 3. Try to make it. Wait, if he even really has a story drawn out, because I feel like if he really had everything planned out, like a lot of your guests have had, how they have months worth of
or
issues.
Years, yeah.
Yeah, so and like Elon Mudd with the plunger, he's got the story. Like, okay, I don't think most of you know this, but I've read the story. Okay, I read the script. I didn't see all the final. He's still finalizing the art, the angles, and all that.
That's
okay, but I've read it, and I'm not, and I'm under not anything legal, but I promised that I would stay silent on exact details unless he said so publicly. But I've read it, and this is a really funny comic that Elon's working on. Right. So I want you guys to know that he put his heart into everything. You all know he's a funny guy, and then just wait until you read how he expresses himself through his art. It's solid. All of you, everybody who likes comics, generally speaking, should appreciate this. But what I'm getting at is the reason I've read it all is because Elon has, he has everything worked out. Not absolutely everything, but he has a lot worked out. He's looking ahead. Everything's planned. It doesn't look like Eric's doing that.
No.
It looks like it feels like he's just adding to it as he gets the money. Which is my prediction. He's just adding to the story as he gets the money to do it. I don't think he has a lot of this worked out. Maybe more stuff in Alpha Core, but ISOM specifically.
Well, and I would think that would probably be a lot, in large part due to Chuck Dixon being on that project. Like, he's a planner. He did Nightfall. He's done so much work in the mainstream industry. He knows how to plan. But Sandman here said, so you got ISOM 1, then 2, now Alpha Core, then Yara, then Goody-ing, and then ISOM 3. So it's going to be a solid, going by the track record he has so far, 1, 2, it's going to be another 3 years before you get ISOM number 3. So it doesn't.
And this time in ISOM 3, his lawyers are coming after him.
It wasn't just because somebody disrespected him in a club. It's the lawyers too.
I know. I feel like that You know what's funny though? All this stuff, like all these people mad at Eric, do make a great storyline for a comic. He should just tack it on as it builds up. I think that's better than where he's going right now.
I mean, anything is better than where he's going right now. I do think that. So, but
anyway, answering the question,
July Presents, could they change it? Like, there's a good chance they could change it to that.
My understanding is anytime he's using ISOM. Okay. So if ISOM is in that, then maybe he could just make cuts, or maybe portions will go to the ministry. Because that's my understanding. That's how it works. If you have an agreement based on shared properties, then it's not as simple as, all of your money goes to, like, it's not that kind of partnership. Right. It's supposed to be based on the shared property. So where ISOM, or where Avery Silman specifically, as long as he's using the ISOM name, wherever that's relevant, then money is owed to the ministry. Outside of that, like Alpha Core, they should have nothing to do with it unless ISOM is all over that, and then that's a different conversation. But we gotta wait until that comes out to know for sure.
$30 for this jank ass hat. Don't worry, it'll be on sale in a week, guys.
For a hat with nacho stains on it.
Oh my god, that is wild to me. I don't know.
ISOM
I find this
ISOM
hilarious.
ISOM means idiot shouldn't offend ministries. I did say that a few months ago, and I'm standing by that one. Idiot shouldn't offend ministries.
Because when they do offend the ministry, they absolutely get schooled and get a settlement. Wild.
Quitters get what quitters deserve. So
I mean,
that's on him. So bottom line, yeah, he's going to be paying, like I said, just to answer your question in short, he's going to be paying the ministry some kind of portion of whatever's related to ISOM until he just phases out the character and stops using it.
This is wild to me too, right? When you were talking about campaigns and we're talking about success of sales and stuff like that, I've done sales breakdowns of mainstream comics before when we used to get actual numbers. This is crazy to me that he has gone from, if we're talking monetary, we're talking, I believe, 4 million to 2 million to 1 million. If we're talking units sold or total purchases from 42,000 down to 20,000, so we're halving each time he's losing half of his audience, down to 10,000. Each time his book is released, his audience is being halved. That is incredible.
What about other campaigns that you've actually, the people you've hosted here, and you've given them a chance to promote their work? What is their audience doing? Like, at what point are they going to meet in the middle? Eric's audience goes down, their audience goes up. At what point do they meet in the middle? We should do some math here. That sounds like fun.
So here's the thing. When it comes to, like, one campaign I did each and every single time was Born of Blood, right?
Right, yeah.
So when it comes to Born of Blood, I believe the first one always do way better. And it also depends on how much did this do. I thought it did over 98,000. Okay. So 98,000, and that's 1327 backers. Let's see if we can find two and just see if the pattern is anywhere similar.
Right. I'm just marking the numbers in our private chat. So 98K.
So, wow, 52.
Oh, it is going down.
It is going down. 886 backers. So not quite as bad on the backers side.
Okay.
So more like 33% as compared to 50%, but the money did go down substantially. Let's see about 3. Okay, back up. 77,000.
Okay.
900 backers.
So we have 52K and 77K. All right. So we're seeing numbers fluctuate. So obviously he had a right. So we have a great start. We went from a great start, half as much, and then catching back up. But there are bigger tits on the third cover. I want to point that out.
That is always fair. The tits do matter.
Yeah. I think that saved him. I think that's what happened. He looked at those numbers and he said, "More tits."
Right.
Make him bigger, better, shinier, whiter.
Oh my God! More variants, please. Yes. We need more variants covered. See, like, and again,
these titties will be marvels from the ether themselves.
I mean, these numbers are good. They're not like, it looks like it's staying pretty solid.
All right, so but we're seeing a fluctuation. All right, so if you want, like I said, it's already established Eric's a fraud. He quit first chance he got to take the fight that came to him where it really matters, and he walked out. And like I said, and man, I'm not mad I lost a bet. Like I said, I was gonna give 50. I wanted to see this unfold for fun. That's why I suggested the mock trial to begin with.
Right.
I wanted to see this unfold, just for fun, because there's a lot of ways. You know me, I'm a smart ass, so I saw an opportunity to have fun with this. Tony's got something to say about Eric. You got something to say about Eric. I had something to say about him just because he lends himself to comedy. At the time, I didn't have strong statements about him, but it was all going to be good. That's really why I did that. So I was going to pay out anyway. I made the bet just to keep it interesting. But I'm still going to pay it. I was going to pay it anyway. Not mad about losing the bet. I'm just letting you know now I have strong words about Eric based on how this unfolded. Quitter, wimp, fraud.
Yep. No, where the fuck
Period.
did they take down the other? That's so weird. They took down the other ones. Well, regardless, we've got a pretty solid line showing that you can keep an audience. You're of course gonna lose, right? Some on issue 1, but you can keep an audience, especially with that bounce back on 3 to 77,000.
Yeah, and I think it's standard in business to have fluctuations because you gotta remember. Yeah, promotion is everything in business. If there are fluctuations in business, you can look back at how you were promoting yourself, and then you could say that strategy didn't work as well as the next strategy. So I gotta either find something new or find something consistent. Promotion is going to be a combination of what's always worked and something new. That's why everybody, Burger King, McDonald's, they've been around forever, but they change their logos once in a while, change their French fries once in a while.
Right, exactly.
Change the little things. But it's still essentially...
I would say it's still not normal to lose half your audience with each book. Now, we'll see if the pattern keeps going, because he's only 3 books in, to be fair, right?
Okay, yeah. Well, we'll see if Alpha Core. We also got to see how does he play the victim when he he admits to his audience.
So that's the next thing, right? So we've seen that the settlement has happened. We can actually look. Let's look and see if he's made a video. I very seriously doubt it, but I feel like that would naturally be the next thing he's going to want to do. Okay, wow. Please look at your screen right now.
I can see great advice for aspiring writers.
No! Please don't take his advice. Please don't take his advice. Are you serious right now?
And look, Jack Daniels, something else that's trademarked. Someone that just won big in trade in this man don't pay attention to shit.
And I do think so. I looked this up earlier because I was curious. He still has. I love how Tony's are the first one to. He still has this up. He still has.
He can still do it.
Yeah, but I would think at some point he would probably want to take these down.
Yeah, it's coming. I was looking because I actually what's funny. I had that downloaded in YouTube because I wanted to keep that handy for when we had our conversations and stuff like make notes on it. But if a video is deleted, then it deletes from your downloads too. So I just kept watching back and forward just to see when that disappears.
That's why you just download it to your phone instead of your YouTube Premium.
No, I don't. I don't do all that. I just leave it. I just left it in premium. It wasn't that important. We were already past that conversation, so I didn't even need that. But yeah, I was looking to see when that was going to disappear. But anyway, to the point of the lawsuit. You know what's funny though? And remember we touched on this last. Oh, we really have to watch this again.
No, we are not. I just want to see if anyone's commented.
Oh, anyone's commented since?
No, 2 weeks ago was the last comment.
The lawsuit that landed. And here's the thing. Fundamentally, I do agree, but you guys didn't have to understand where I'm coming from. Like I said, trademark, free speech, they're at odds. The courts tend to pick and choose what to enforce, and sometimes it means we lose, which they're not supposed to do. So that's why I was really pulling for Eric to get on the horse. And I know. And there's also another thing I learned. Somebody said there's a picture of him next to Gina Carano. Okay,
to my understanding, that was more recent, I think.
Oh, well, here's the thing. She's only about 5'7" without shoes. And Eric is supposedly about an inch shorter in there. So I want everybody to know I was fucking right. He's not that tall. He's just a beard, hands, and feet.
Yeah. There was a picture. Right. I wonder if it's still up. Let me see if I can...
Anyway, I was hoping he would get on the horse, stand on some books, try to be like halfway to the judge's chin and say, "You are fucking wrong on this."
There was a video on here that he had him as the thumbnail. Look at this. Look at this picture. I would be so embarrassed. Look
How
how
tall is
little
he?
he looks. I don't know how tall he is, but he looks teeny compared to Chuck Dixon.
If his shirt said everything's bigger in Texas.
Oh my god. Actually, I am so sure of this right now. Robert, you've probably met Chuck Dixon. How tall is he?
I remember he's looking up. The bill of the hat is probably adding about 3 inches from here. So make sure, guys who want to compare, stop at Eric's forehead. His forehead is not as big as his ego, but it shouldn't be hard.
That picture is embarrassing. Like, he looks like a little guy. He still claims he's 6 foot, Sandman said.
All right, we'll let him have it. But bottom line, whoever's still supporting this guy, stop.
Yeah.
Because he gave up on you. Hey, I wanted this guy to win too, believe it or not. Not so much that I wanted to win, but I actually did want to see where he was going.
Yeah.
I actually did want to see him. I did want to see him succeed, not so much because of everything he said about how the communists have infiltrated comics. Again, he's not dead wrong on that, but I don't think it was nearly the issue that he said it was. That's why when I said that he had the balls to fight imaginary political opponents,
Wait, what the fuck?
More
is this
specifically.
a comic book? Or this dude's a Mortal Kombat YouTuber. Yeah, it's True Underdog. He does. I'm pretty sure he does Mortal Kombat content. He's on with Chuck Dixon. That's so weird. He's like the clickbaitiest of the clickbait. But still, I watch his stuff every once in a while. That's weird. No.
Oh, and you did cover. I saw you cover Quan Chi, but did you also cover the details? Ed Boon, so supposedly, I don't know if he gave details.
I'm so excited.
But he did say the main story would continue through a DLC.
Oh my God, we're getting a Aftermath 2.0 basically.
Right? Did you already cover that?
Yeah, we talked about it a bit on Sunday. And I showed the video of where Boone said that there will be an expansion and they're going to support this game for a lot longer than they did 11. That's
good.
I am
I think
like Quan Chi looks fucking incredible.
He looked a lot more impressive than I expected. They've reinvented every character. Like when you saw the way they reinvented Smoke, and then you look at the way they reinvented Reptile, and they just continued in that direction with a lot of characters. The base designs for Sub-Zero and Scorpion at first didn't win me over. They just looked so wimpy.
They looked incredible.
That fucking Benihana chef bullshit. It was all over this game, and I was laughing at it. I laughed at, but they did give him some good other apparel that you could get later, so they found a way to make up for it. But the base designs, generally speaking, were not compared to Mortal Kombat 11. You could tell it was.
It's okay,
but
you
have to remember,
you're used to it at this point.
But But here's the thing, though. By doing that, they established this is clearly a different game.
Oh yeah.
Everything
absolutely.
they did. Yeah, everything they did. They put due care into this and make sure everybody knows this is a different game. You're not just getting a continuation. You are in a sense getting a continuation of Mortal Kombat 11. Okay, but I
am so like don't get me wrong, Quan Chi looks amazing, but Chameleon looks like I wish she was a main roster. Like the way that she so seamlessly and flawlessly goes from Melina to Jade to Katana is incredible.
Well, I bet you here's what will happen. The cameos you're seeing are going to be used to tease what's coming up in, let's say, Mortal Kombat 2.
Yeah.
Or MK2. So remember, like, a lot of people are still looking for that Mortal Kombat reunion. Because there has only been one game where, like, every ninja in the game.
Right.
Were
I think
all
it was
in
Deadly
there.
Alliance, right? Or was
it was Mortal Kombat Trilogy for the PlayStation, the 90s. Like 1999.
Didn't have the 3D characters.
No, but it was every character that. So Mortal Kombat Trilogy, I think to date was the only game that had absolutely every character on the roster.
Okay.
That at that time had every character on their roster.
No, He said ISOM is going to be an MK2. Take it back right now. Take it back. Take it back. James got jokes this morning. Barbie
He's always got jokes. I wish James would come up here more. James always has jokes.
I know James is awesome. We got him once on a Sunday stream. We're going to steal him.
Oh, I saw that. It was crazy. Anyway, I think what you're going to see is a lot of the cameos being used to tease what's going to come in the future. So, like for MK11, there are lots of videos out there about how all you needed left was Reptile, Ermac, and Smoke because they just gave you Rain. And that's exactly what you didn't get. Like there's a brutality that Shang Tsung does where he briefly becomes Reptile during a slide. And people said, Reptile's in the game, and that's not what you got, obviously. You didn't get him until this game, and that's exactly what NetherRealm Studio wants. And that's the thing, and I know a lot of people are screaming for that, but you're not going to get it. Because they know how bad you want it. No, you got a Jade lookalike.
No, we're going to get Jade as Combat Pack 2. I swear to God,
you got
if
an
it's all
imitation.
Fucking Sausage Fest in Combat Pack 2, I am going to riot.
Well, I'm anticipating Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League to struggle.
Oh my God.
I don't know about fail outright.
I can't say shit, but you are wrong.
Okay, we told you, I told you when the live service thing was announced that this is a bust. And then the game got delayed until April next year.
Oh my God, you're just trust
or
me.
February now,
just trust me, you're wrong.
I told you this was going to be a bust. Everybody, it wasn't just reading the crowd. There was good reason for that. Live service games are a scam because the developers will prioritize the money that they expect to come into the game over the game, and so that's why people didn't have high hopes for this. Now here's the thing: they redesigned. I don't know that they redesigned it, but they did make it look more polished than it would have looked last year. I guess that's a start. So maybe they did something to make it worth your while. But live service games, they all struggle. Like Sony just got rid of 6 and they only had 12. I think I read an article about this in Forbes recently, saying that Destiny 2 is one of the most successful games. Successful. Oh, motherfucker. Anyway, saying that Destiny 2 is one of the more successful live service games, and even that's struggling. Something how it's missing about 45% of its anticipated revenue. I'm just
to know.
Just keep it in. Just don't be surprised if the game struggles. I don't know that the game is going to bomb, but I don't think it's going to be as big a hit as people say.
Maybe
a
not,
lot of
but
people.
I'm going to play it. I can't say shit, but it's great. Just stop. It's great.
Well, here's what I was getting at, because you remember there was speculation a while back that one of the characters coming up would be Harley Quinn in Combat Pack 2.
I mean, I'm okay with that.
What I'm saying is
Oh my God! Zora. Get the fuck out. Jade would be a waste of a character slot. Jade is essential to Mortal Kombat.
Jade is a diversity, Aaron, you know it.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Anyway, remember Bruce Campbell talked about this because Ash Williams was supposed to be in the last game. They actually did have plans for it, but they couldn't work out an agreement because the Evil Dead game was on the way. So they didn't, basically the two different teams, they didn't work out an agreement because they don't like the idea of the same key character going to two different products because potentially you're diverting audiences.
Right.
Okay, well, if Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League, I'm not going to say, I don't think it's going to bomb, but it is going to hurt. Okay, if it hurts that bad and somebody wants Harley Quinn to make them some money, I think, you'll absolutely see that coming up. I think more likely if that game bombs. But at the same time, if it's going to be there, that means they're developing it anyway. Because you can't just add it in a month. You can't just switch skins and, add a voice character.
Exactly.
Yeah. You can't just do it in gaming in modern day. Absolutely, you can't just do that in a month. Like Ash Williams was probably something that was already worked out, and they just had to scrap it.
That's exactly. And I think there was some issues with. Now I don't know if this is true or if this was just something that I heard, But remember the original build of Joker in the combat pack reveal for MK11? How bad it looked?
I was the only one that didn't really care. I think here's the thing: a lot of people were mad at the Joker's image at the time because of the first Suicide Squad movie. They didn't like Jared Leto. They thought it was too similar, so there was a lot of hate online. I didn't think it was warranted.
Well,
the Joker came out great.
It. Yeah, he came out great, but what they did was, to my understanding, it was supposed to be Pennywise, and that's why it looked so bad initially. They went from the Pennywise design to Joker. I could be wrong. That could just be rumor, but that was my initial understanding of it.
It might not be dead wrong because, like I said, these characters, you can't just tack them on in a month or a few months. It's a lot of wire work, especially with the modern engines, gaming engines. The detail you put into them, you can't just tack it on quick.
Exactly.
It'll show. So I bet something like Ash Williams, just like in Arkham Knight, you might remember a side mission with Zaz was for some reason scrapped. And they wouldn't even put it in a DLC for some reason.
Oh, really? Yeah, I did not know that.
Yeah, there was a side mission with Zaz that was supposed to be in the game. I still don't know why they scrapped it. But the fact that they scrapped it means they actually worked on it. So for some reason, it could have been design constraints. It could have been maybe they just thought they were milking the series. I don't know. I don't know why they would have scrapped it.
Because they had it in they had Zaz in City with the telephone calls.
Yeah. Yeah, but for some reason they scrapped it out of Arkham Knight, and I don't know why that they didn't put Zaz in in Gotham Knights. So I don't know why, but the reason here's the thing: if they scrap it, it means they already worked on it,
right? And
because they have to, because this stuff takes a long time. So if Harley Quinn is coming or was planned, chances are it's already developed. Now it's a matter of what they do with those plans. So that's why I'm saying, if Suicide Squad kills the Justice League, if it does struggle as bad as a lot of people are expecting, maybe they will decide to put her in MK1 because somebody wants to make money off that license.
Shut up, Zora. He said Noob is so much better than Jade. Okay, Noob's coming no matter what. Noob's coming no matter what. They can. Two things can exist. It's okay.
They can, but for some reason, NetherRealm doesn't do that. I think the last time they did that was Noob Smoke, in what was that, Deadly Alliance, right? Where you were both at the same time.
Oh yes. Oh god, I hated that. Yes, I do remember that now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. For some reason, they don't usually put them together. There's nothing really stopping them, but I think it's just something to tease the fans. I don't think you're going to get that, because if some things the fans don't get because they want them so bad, because that's what's going to keep you coming back for more later.
I will. Okay, Yo-Yo Pizza Boy said, "What did Yellowflash do this time?" Let's talk about that. You love drama, I know it. Okay, you're familiar enough with Yellowflash, right?
It's a distant memory at this point, but yes, I know.
Oh, you know of this person. Do you know who BLERD Without Fear is?
That is absolutely not. No, that one's new to me.
Okay. BLERD Without Fear is a really good content creator. They cover comics.
He's such a dweeb.
Yeah, he is such a dweeb, but he's great at what he does.
I have Chinese food in my shoes.
Oh my god. Oh my god. So, BLERD did a video. Now everybody's been talking about this issue with now are you familiar with the supposed, it really wasn't a retcon, but it was stuff that's happening in X-Men right now?
No, I haven't seen. A lot of your streams happen while I'm at work. I haven't. If that's something you covered, I haven't been able to catch that.
Basically what happened, let's see if I can find a panel here.
Is that Mystique?
Yes. We got Mystique. Mystique and
she's mad because she wanted ISOM 3 so bad.
She really was interested in ISOM 3, guys. She's really upset about that situation. Mystique has been Nightcrawler's mother, right? We know this. This is something that has been established in continuity. For a long time, the father was Azazel. Everybody
Azazel.
Azazel. Whatever. Yeah. Shut up. I
Yeah.
read. I don't say them out loud.
All right, sorry.
I am going to ban Zora. Meat would be better than Jade. Stop distracting me.
Wait, which one was meat?
Meat
I've never heard that.
was literally meat. He was literally...
That's it? Like a steak? Like a dried steak? Yeah, you got to show me that. We didn't sidestep this for a second. I never saw that.
This was meat.
Where was he from? What
I
game
know
was
he
this?
was in Armageddon.
He's wearing a diaper?
Basically.
So they put a corpse in a diaper and said, "This will do, guys." I hope they put this in MK1. Combat Pack 3, please.
No.
But look at how creative they've gotten with the characters. How could they recreate this?
Like, this was his, what do you call it? His, like, character stage thing. But they had meat, and then he had mocap, a couple of them that were kind of joke characters, right? And they also had Draman, which wasn't necessarily a joke character, but he had, like, flies around him, which always bugged me. What's up with the flies?
Pun intended.
Yo-Yo Pizza Boy said, meat is king, don't disrespect the meat. No, Jade is better. Come on now, guys. Come on. Okay, so, in this situation, now, I'm going to explain this as easily as possible. This has been going... Now, I haven't read X-Men comics in a very long time because I'm not into X-Men. X-Men was my love when I was young. I loved Rogue. She was always my favorite. I liked Mystique. I like more Mystique as a villain more than I do like this anti-hero type, or anti-villain.
Yeah, honestly, I don't like the idea of villains becoming anti-heroes. It doesn't
Unless
work.
It's Harley Quinn, then it doesn't matter because she can do no wrong.
She's. I just love the series because it's funny, but where that really stood out to me was the first. When Venom Lethal Protector first came around.
Oh yeah.
I didn't like the idea of a villain becoming an anti-hero because my first impression, because I already know him as a hero so well, so I just felt like I had to lose something and learn something else. So I felt like it really should have just been something else. Of course, it's easier to just take something established and give it a new role.
Yeah.
Right.
So
it's always going to be that. Like
this was his father, and the only reason. Now this was a hated storyline, like. Absolutely nobody liked this storyline. The only reason why he was the father is because of because I think it was Jim Shooter specifically the original idea from Chris Claremont was for Destiny and for Mystique to be Nightcrawler's father or parents. Father? No. That was the original idea. It never came to fruition because it was obviously in the 80s, you had the Comics Code Authority and then you had editorial interference. Finally, they were able to squeeze it through editorial that Destiny and Mystique made a baby. I mean, they still had his genetic material make the baby, but they made a baby.
So who did Mystique become in order to knock her up?
That's actually a very good question. I have no idea. Where I was hoping there was pictures because there was one.
Because I was looking at this one, the one with these two in bed, and I figured, that baby came from Mystique somehow, but I'm just wondering how the hell she did it.
She turned into a dude, to my understanding but with the genetic material of
that's just such a weird setting, like a woman slowly becoming a man. Say, this is a job for a man. And she's just okay with it.
I have a picture I want to bring up, but I gotta hide that real quick, so let me, because I gotta go into my drive. Dun dun dun. Right here.
Zora's AMVs. Is that the same Zora? I can't see the chat.
No, I don't think so.
Wait, where are they pulling that baby out?
Okay, that's the picture I actually want to show. Okay, now I can unhide this.
That picture's funny. You don't ever watch Beavis and Butthead, do you?
No.
For some reason, like years back when they closed off what was supposed to be the series finale the first time, for some reason they never explained it, but Beavis's ass kept catching fire, and he was in a position like that in the hospital bed. And for some reason, all the doctors just ran away and said, "Get out!" And this huge flame came out of his ass. And they never explained it.
That's so weird. So I wanted to say something to clear something
Go
up
ahead.
because I deleted my post.
Okay.
Now, originally I put, oh my god, this computer. Originally, I put this picture on my, oh my god, that's as good as it, oh my god, this is as good as it's gonna get, guys. On
Just
my
zoom up.
community post, and put, what's going on here, Marvel? Like, do you not know how to deliver a baby?
Yeah,
Like, I was utterly
thrown.
confused, and so I sent it to Bianca, and I'm like, I'm confused.
Like,
What's going on?
I'm
in this
looking
picture?
under her. Yeah, 'cause I'm looking under her left hand. I'm wondering, are these pillows? But then you still look at the angle. All right, so the angle of the gut can be attributed to roundness. It looks like she's on her knees right now.
She
but is that
so?
okay? That's why
I looked it
that's why I
up.
said, "Where's it coming?"
And
And look, Robert's delivering the baby, and he took off his glasses for this. And
Robert!
he's gonna get this is gonna be bad.
oh my god,
Yeah,
how
I'm
did you
writing the
get
Marvel.
here?
So I'm writing the Marvel after this. Something about this ain't right.
So I guess doggy style baby delivery is a thing. I learned something new.
Yeah, I have. There's actually a documentary about it. I've seen it. It's not specifically that, but it shows all the different ways women give birth outside the hospitals. It's about weighing pros and cons. You already know, you're a nurse. You know, not just sanitary issues, but other complications like the umbilical cord around the
Right.
baby's neck isn't something they can tackle at home. But a lot of women will give birth at home. They get inflatable kid pools. They fill them with water. That's just supposed to capture a big chunk of the mess. And actually, a lot of these women give birth standing. But
That's
yeah,
wild.
but basically, now
But
here's
it
also
opens
another
up
thing.
the pelvis, and I had no idea that this was because I looked at this picture
Yeah.
and I'm like, who drew this? What's wrong with you? And I'm like, I had no idea that this was a way to deliver a baby.
And is that Mystique too in red?
Yes,
The red
this
hair?
is Mystique and this is Destiny.
Oh, so they're both knocked up. I'm just saying she has hooters in this.
Well, I think, and I didn't read the whole book, but I think she grew, like Destiny is the one that actually delivers the baby. Mystique grew a baby bump to be in line with Destiny,
Oh, so
like
this
as a
is-
supportive thing.
What a trooper! This woman will go the mile for anything. Shit. But anyway, but see, here's also something I see as an inconsistency. So they're almost correct, but if you look between Mystique and Destiny, you notice the bed still has a long way to go. They should be doing that closer to the edge.
Oh
A
yeah,
little bit,
and
not-
obviously she still has pants on. She's just laboring, right? Like,
Right.
but
Robert's doing the dirty work. Robert said, "I got
Robert
this."
took one for the team.
You just relax. I'll do the disrobing, man.
Oh my god,
All that
that's so
profile.
funny.
All right.
So
but
the whole point of
seriously,
this, the reason why I want to show this is, for one, to correct my misconception. I did delete my post.
you can
before I
correct
do-
misconceptions.
Yeah, because
I gotta see this.
I didn't know. I didn't know that was a way to deliver babies. But this was Chris Claremont's idea in the 80s. It never passed through, right? And now they were finally able to make it happen. With doing so, there has been a lot of uproar. You can see Reese is not happy about this situation.
I can't see. You gotta tell me what he said.
Reese said, LMAO, idiots. Marvel is run by idiots and cowards. Just like Ripaverse.
Hey, but Marvel aren't a bunch of quitters. That's the difference. That's why they got big and you won't, Eric.
Right? Especially after this wanting to be a thing for so long, and they finally got it through. So, Why me?
No,
Seriously? Robert, it's a joke. It's cool. Calm down.
Robert, it did look a lot like you.
Yes.
Come on. Well, all I said is you're the doc. You look like the doctors. That's not the worst thing under, dude. Come on. And plus, that's funny. Just to think that you were in the room and said, "Don't worry, I'm a professional." Just to see you take over. Hey, that's funny, dude. Okay. Anyway, yeah, like I said, Eric, fraud, quitter, wimp.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so continue. So
with
like you were
this,
saying.
you know, as BLERD always does. Again, highly suggest his channel. He does a great job with breaking down comics. He talked about the All New Origin, right? He talked about what happened with it. And so did a lot of people. Yellowflash was one of them. And he posted on his Twitter, "You are not serious people." Because Yellowflash went, "Nightcrawler born from LBGT? What the fuck?
LBGT.
Is that a... Wait, what?
Minor correct. Minor problem.
Yeah, okay.
Their most Christian... Wait, is that true?
He's Catholic. Yeah, Nightcrawler is.
Oh, I know he is, but...
This is like virtue signaling at its best. Not only are they queer, but he is Christian, guys. Oh my god.
Yeah, I've known, even I don't even follow X-Men closely, but I remember somebody explaining that to me. Yeah, that Nightcrawler's Catholic. But what about these two? What about his moms? Or like his mom and a half? Like, I don't even know what you call Mystique at this point. She's the one that knocked up his mom.
Right. And like, okay, what blows my mind is people are upset that Mystique is
well, she's always been everything.
She's always been literally, like, we've seen her turn into Wolverine before and have his adamantium skeleton. Like, she's always been able to do this, and now it's outrageous because they made a baby.
I always thought that was the scariest thing about Mystique. that she can become a man and make kids like that. Like, you have to understand. I don't have irrational fears except this one: doppelgangers, because they can become you. They can take everything in your life, and nobody will know. Okay, doppelgangers. Honestly, the thought of somebody just like me in every single way actually is kind of not for it does put me on defense, to be honest. If I really thought there was an exact replica, someone just like me out there that could just walk into my house and do everything normal, yeah, I'm gonna fight the fuck out of that guy and I'm gonna win. All right, I just want you to know.
But like,
I will fight and win.
I always thought Mystique was so interesting in that way because really, Mystique can do that. Mystique can not only do that, but like Robert said, in the movie, she turned into Wolverine. She turned into a male senator. We have seen her turn into basically everything throughout the years. But
she turned into a man half her height. That is that is great. Yeah, remember who did Henry Dinklage play? Who did Dinklage play? Well, you remember it was the he was the politician.
Yes.
Yeah, he was the one who built the Sentinels. Remember?
Yeah,
or you don't know which movie.
I haven't seen him in a while, but yeah.
Well, bottom line, she became someone half her height. Like,
Trask.
I've always thought.
Trask.
Yes, Trask. Yes, and yeah, that's always been a feature of this character, yet to my understanding, and that's what I always thought was like a risk of this character.
So what I've always understood is, if she turned into Trask, I'm assuming that she would not have a vagina, right? Like, if she turned into another girl, she doesn't keep her shape of tit. She keeps the other, like, shape-shifting. The idea of it is pretty fucking...
Now, here's also another point, because she became Logan. She became Logan, so that means she grew chest hair she doesn't have.
Right.
Right, so yeah, this woman has always been whatever she wants to be. I don't... Of course, they're gonna make a thing of it.
But this is something that, again, that goes. Everybody champions, and I do the same thing. Don't get me wrong. Everybody champions Chris Claremont. His runs on X-Men are legendary. Like, the one I always talk about is, well, God loves, man kills, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I probably said that backwards, but regardless, he everybody loves Chris Claremont until something that he wanted to happen did not happen during his time, and they were actually able to make it happen. So people are upset. And we've got Yellowflash commenting, comic book shill is shocked people think this retcon is fucking stupid. Shocking. And he put breaking news, hoes mad. Like,
Wait, who's hoe? Like who's hoe is mad at what? What do you
Yellowflash
mean?
is the hoe. Yellowflash is the hoe.
Okay, I did. Okay, I misread. I misread the order of it. Yeah, of course he is. You guys are up there in line with Eric. You guys are all mad that these this mass infiltration of a homosexual communists that are destroying storytelling. The problem is a bit overblown. Like, this isn't evidence of that. Like, if you wanted to use that as a gotcha, this ain't it. I've known that. Okay, I don't follow X-Men closely either. This is always something I thought Mystique could do since I first learned about the character. Like I said, she became Logan. She became Wolverine. She grew arm and chest hair she doesn't have. She's disgusting by nature. This should neither upset or surprise anybody. This should have always been... Are you there?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay. But yeah, this should have always been something that people expected that Mystique could do.
Right,
I've
and I
always thought
just
this
read
is
what
something she could
Samuel
do.
said. He said it was revealed she's not actually just a shapeshifter, she's a gene shifter. So if she shifted into, Logan, she would actually have his genetic makeup.
Yeah, hasn't she even shapes her fingerprints into other people?
Right, exactly.
I know that's something she's done. Yeah, so she's done as far as I can tell, she's always shaped the whole thing.
Yeah, so this is the one that's a touch too far for people. Now, mind you, I don't take a lot of it seriously because this is, rinse and repeat with these people. They see something in media, it's woke, it's bad, if it's gay, and then it's rinse and repeat. I fully expected this, but what I didn't expect is BLERD to come out and say, I made Yellowflash's fanboys so angry, now they are trying to dig up dirt on me in old tweets.
So did they find anything good?
I don't know.
He seems harmless at first glance. I don't know. The most harmless ones are usually the most dangerous.
Right? He's probably got some crazy, bigoted things out there and everybody... No.
He's the guy that buried Jim Hoffa.
The anti-cancel culture people are trying to cancel him over... He doesn't hate the retcon. Because that, again, it's what Claremont originally wanted anyway. I don't...
Okay, well, let's revisit the fact, Nightcrawler's Catholic... Azazel is rotten.
He's a demon, a literal demon.
Right. So I don't see how this is so damaging or inconsistent with the character's life. Like he was somebody who always stood out because he Nightcrawler. If I remember correctly, he wasn't. I don't know that he was necessarily always good. Like he struggled as a mutant. I remember. I don't remember him being. I know he was a hero for majority of his presence in X-Men, but I don't think that was his origin, right? Because he like many mutants, he struggled to figure out who he was. The only thing I think this
takes away with Nightcrawler is the idea that Nightcrawler is kind of struggling with the fact that he is Catholic and he's part demon. So that's kind of like one of those neat internal struggles that you get to see and live through. But I mean, I don't see the issue with this. I see an issue with trying to cancel somebody, but I don't see an issue with this retcon. I would say is much less damaging than some Iceman gay. You know what I mean? Changing a character completely.
Right. Well, honestly, if anything, so what they're saying though, they're saying Azazel is no longer the father, implicit as of this, right?
Right. Exactly.
But here's the thing. Maybe officially, if that's what they want to write, fine. He always had. his parental figure was always inconsistent with his faith. It's just a different way to do it, I guess.
Right.
I don't know. But anyway,
it may create a whole different struggle we didn't think about with him having, a gene / shapeshifter mother and queer parents. That may create a whole new idea of something struggling within him.
Well, here's the thing: if they wanted to continue and borrow from demons and mythology, Azazel could still be in this picture because historically, or in mythology rather, demons found ways to pass on their seed through humans. So Azazel actually could still fit in.
Right.
Like I see what he's saying. Azazel's. It seems implicitly, like he's gone. I do see that, but they could still squeeze him back in just for that reason, the fact that he is a demon.
He's the father on like that genetic level, right? Like, so his semen is still
right.
what created the baby.
Mm-hmm.
So there is like all these different storylines you could pull from. I have no problem with this. I think this is. And when I went through, I didn't buy it.
I'm just trying to
scans of it, and
I'm just trying to get like a firm grasp on what the objection really is about. Because
2 moms.
Is there no,
2 moms. That's the objection.
Well, no. Here's what I'm getting at though. His father was a known, like a demon specifically named in biblical literature.
Right.
All right, so he already had a demonic father, so I know this is also inconsistent with Nightcrawler's faith. So was his father. So I don't know. This is just, I don't know. you see what I mean? His father was already inconsistent with his faith.
Yeah.
He now has. I still say he has one mom. The other one, I don't know. You don't know. You never know what she is. Right?
Destiny, and I don't know. Destiny and Mystique have been an ongoing love story for a very long time, but I checked out of X-Men a long time ago. So I know of them, but I actually, who in the chat? Somebody's got to know more about Destiny than me. What is her power set? What does she do? How? I think I've read her in I know she was in Rogue and Gambit. I read that. But
or serious
I don't know
plot
much about
twist. Mystique is actually Azazel. Imagine.
See that could be good.
See that would be good. You see what I mean? You could still squeeze him in. You could probably squeeze him into let's say his seed went through Mystique, from Mystique to Destiny. So now this guy has 2 moms and a dad. And you could just throw that in there. It'll be wild and fun. Like you have to also understand. I'm a science fiction. Yeah, but it's really for me, I'm a science fiction fan. So if you were going to use biology in weird ways like this, to me, this is all perfectly fine. Something else I want to bring up. He says they're most Christian X-Men. How many? I don't know all of their religions.
No,
I knew Azazel was Catholic, but
I know.
Remember.
The most I know is I know Daredevil is very Catholic also. And I know Nightcrawler is very Catholic.
Well, bottom line, I'm getting at this is only one member. He said X-Men plural. So
I don't know. And I guess Destiny. Thank you guys. I should have known this. I read the mini with Carlos Gomez. Art of Rogue and Gambit. Destiny is precognition. She sees the future. I knew that because she came in and she told Rogue the future and she needed her help. How did I not remember that? But regardless,
it's in the name Destiny.
Yeah, exactly. How did
destiny.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. So I see this more honestly as like a homage thing to Chris Claremont. I see it more as honoring his legacy in the Marvel Universe. Giving him something that he wanted for years, and now he's able to have it. I think it's really cool. I have no issue with it, but, Ho's mad.
And then that's another thing. Was anyone doing anything with Nightcrawler?
That's a good question for somebody who reads more X-Men. Not that I know of. I think he did have a mini read.
Robert?
Yeah, Robert, come on now.
Yeah, Robert, was anybody doing anything with X-Men? Like, well, I mean, anything meaningful? Let's say within the last 5 years. Right? It's like, yeah, they'll say it like that. Within the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Well, let's see if he has an answer. But like I said, I don't feel like this is. It's not a bizarre. Granted, I'm not attached to X-Men. Nightcrawler was an interesting character to me, but I
always like Nightcrawler.
Like I explained before. I liked it. I think it's a cool power, teleportation. Yeah, it's cooler when you're a kid, but like I said, I fell out of love with X-Men because I watched the series. I didn't have access to the comics at that time. And I got frustrated with the little things like every character, because every character was another character's weakness. And you always knew when the characters you liked were going to struggle or, they get kicked out of the storyline. Or at least the episode for the minute, because the other guy came in. Wolverine, by example, Magneto's in the room. Well, he can't do anything. It's funny because you have a hero that a lot of people just fell in love with because he's so quick to tackle the bad guy, and everybody just romanticizes that. And then he's got this one guy he can't do anything to because Magneto can control everything he does. And it's like that's the one fight you want to see, and it's the one fight seems like it'll never happen. But whenever Magneto's on screen, you already know Wolverine is just going to be rendered useless, and then it takes the fun out of it. It was a similar thing with Spider-Man and the original Venom. I got very frustrated with Venom's phobia of small fires, because remember it wasn't just a chemical thing. Everybody's vulnerable to fire, but it was specific. It was a psychological thing. It was a phobia.
Right, like Martian.
Okay, and the high frequency sounds. It was the same thing. As long as you knew the characters are in that kind of a backdrop, then you knew what was going to happen. To me, it felt weak. I didn't feel like I was seeing a hero, fight and struggle anymore. That's actually why I like Spider-Man. He was the small guy taking on the big guy, but then the big guy was just so weak. It just felt like at least reading about it as a kid, it just felt like a missed opportunity to tell me something better.
Right.
That's why I like some later iterations of Venom better. Like in the Ultimate Universe, they didn't make him weak like that. He didn't have any phobias like that. So I thought that was the right way to do it. But as far as X-Men in general, yeah, like I said, with the reason I fell out of it, I didn't like the idea of everybody having one guy that can just take you out of the fight altogether. It just made everything weak for me because
I totally get it. Sandman said Cy Spurrier has been doing Nightcrawler stuff. I don't know what specifically, but I love Cy Spurrier. I may have to check it out. I may have to. I'm kind of getting sick of. They're doing this whole Krakoa era, and that's kind of where I got sick of. And I always, don't get me wrong, I love the characters, but there's only so much you can do on this Krakoa thing, and then now they can resurrect them on Krakoa, so there really is no death, to my understanding. So me being lazy, I just watch somebody like BLERD. Pretty much it. Oh,
that's fine. Hey, if it saves you money, saves you time, fine. But bottom line, I see why a select portion of the U.S. population would be upset by this. There's political relevant. Obviously, I need to get a drink.
I was the one who couldn't talk.
I know. Look, you passed it on to me. Look what you did. It's like by osmosis, I have your problems now.
Right?
Like I'm gonna start starving my cats. I'm just gonna.
No, I get it, but people that are the more Christian side isn't gonna like this. The anti-SJWs aren't gonna like it because it's queer. Anyone who thinks this is politically motivated, it doesn't understand the history of it, isn't going to like it. I get that, but also at the same time, it's not that big of a deal.
Well, I can see the convenient, more like politically. If you wanted to make a political argument, it'd be more like politically convenient. Remember, Miles Morales was born in, his character, let me see, when did they end Ultimate Spider-Man? Because that's where he came from, right? That was Peter died and then Miles took over. Because I know that
was in
throughout
Ultimate,
the early 2000s.
2000s, yeah, early 2010s.
Okay, well, here's why I bring that up, because I've seen people witness Miles Morales for the first time because of the movie. And like I have a cousin that's born again Christian, drives me fucking crazy, and she saw that Spider-Man is black. She said, "Spider-Man's black in this?" It's like, and I'm not even shitting you. It was a gasp like that, like real alarm. And I see stuff and I think that church fucked you up, dude. Like Church's chicken is healthier for you than that place, dude.
Oh my
what
God.
the fuck is this shit? All right. And I didn't have a chance to explain to her that Miles had already been around. But, here's another thing. Because I've said this before. The strong words I stand behind. Miles Morales is Peter Parker in different skin. I'm not going to pretend he's not so fundamentally different that you have much of an argument otherwise. Okay, the common ground in their stories, they lost their father or father figure. From down to the mutants, the radioactive spider, down to the mother or mother figure left behind. Like you see the parallels. They're mostly the same. Okay, so for the most part, yeah, Miles Morales is Peter in different skin, but there's political convenience in modern day to input Miles Morales in place of Peter Parker. And I think that's what people thought was going to be the case in the video game Spider-Man 2 because of the ending. And yeah, it would be consistent with the ultimate storyline, or they could replace them altogether. Cool, but at the same time, it's just convenient. It's not like I don't think Miles was designed specifically to replace Peter in the early 2000s because they could have done that.
Oh no, yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think it was specifically for that. So like these characters here, that's what I'm getting at. Bottom line, guys, this wasn't specifically designed for this. It's just the convenience. Okay, it's good for modern times. You can retcon the characters and make a storyline that's more
completely normal in comics. Unfortunately, some are good, some are
right.
bad. Reese has a question. He said, "So here's the best question: will this move boost sales, short or long term? If not, then why?" I don't know.
Lesbians can.
The power of lesbians. No, I don't know.
No, that's true. All right. I'm going to make a serious statement. I know you guys are used to me smart-assing, but I'm going to make a serious statement about what you and I, especially because we are about the same age, and what you and I have seen when people were trying, I shouldn't even say trying to accept that homosexuals are real, but when they were learning it. Because like I said, when I was, even only 16 years ago, okay, I was still seeing things like, homosexuals, you really only heard about them in the news when like somebody had killed somebody. And for some reason, the news, they would bring it up. They would say, by the way, the killer is a homosexual. It is consistent with what a lot of people believed. And just bringing that up raises alarm. It keeps the audience coming back for it. But that was a lot of what people really understood at the time. A lot of people did understand that homosexuals were either diseased or something else was just wrong with them. A lot of people probably still had the old misconception of homosexuality specifically as a psychiatric disorder. And we watched that change, though. Like you and I especially, so around probably going into our 20s, especially, like you had always known
I would
some.
say almost even a little bit earlier than 20s, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. But would you say most pronounced? Like in
Yes.
the 20s especially? Okay.
And
But
I think
before
a lot of
all
it,
that,
and I know I've said this before, I think a lot of it came out with the, what was it? Shepard.
Matthew Shepard?
Matthew Shepard story.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that opened a lot of people's eyes.
I remember the commercials for that. I never saw it, but what I'm going to say right now, in line with Reese's question, the real reason homosexuals are more tolerated today is because of lesbians. It's not because of homosexuality. Now, here's why: lesbians are cooler. All right, anybody can fight me on that anytime. We can have a Thunderdome, open the lines. Anybody can fight me on this, okay? But this really is the truth, because what we were seeing a lot of, and science has highlighted this, there's a good chance that all females, more or less, are bisexual. It's just some are going to be mostly attracted to men. Some are going to be seemingly only attracted to women, but it's believed to be a fixture of their biology to be attracted to both. But that's also why, and men not so much. That's why you see most men are definitely heterosexual. And then you see homosexual males and bisexual males are usually the most rare. Okay? But what really helped people tolerate homosexuality was lesbians. Because lesbians are cool. Okay? And It wasn't from homosexuals getting their own voice. The truth is, lesbians stood up for homosexuals because lesbians said, those guys, the guys are gay, she's gay. That in her mind, it's all the same. She feels what she feels, he feels what he feels, and they all basically saw the same. They saw that parallel. It was that empathy, that common ground. And that's what lesbians really spoke to. They are actually the ones people listened to because lesbians were not shunned the way that homosexuals were. So lesbians actually are the reason homosexuals are tolerated today. Because lesbians actually did do the talking because homosexual men were not allowed to.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but I would actually argue that the reason why they're people, I guess the word you're using is tolerate, is because they're no fucking different than anyone else.
Right, but that's the thing. They had to learn that because remember we had those preconceptions,
right?
And that was like something I mentioned here a few times already. I knew 2 bisexual males about what was like late. I was around 17, going to like 18 and 19. They were friends of mine. They were good guys, and they surprised me because I also had that impression that when guys are gay, they wouldn't necessarily have effeminate body language. These guys were bisexual. They actually both had girlfriends, but admitted to they had attraction to males as well. And they were not effeminate at all. You would never, if they did not actually tell you straight up that they are attracted to men, that you honestly would not have ever known. You would not have ever guessed. They didn't have any effeminate body language. They didn't, they had female friends, but it didn't, it's not like these girls were calling these guys like one of the girls. You see what I mean? It was completely different. That for me was a wake-up call because in my mind that was no different. And that was also another thing because when bisexual males
right now,
I'm just telling you, you have to understand. I had preconception growing up because that's what I heard. Now here's the thing: I didn't judge them. I didn't know exactly what to believe because I had heard so many different stories. Yeah, I had heard it's the same thing. Nothing you haven't heard already. They generally heard that homosexuals were either disease or something, or they were mental. That was basically how they were reduced. Oh, I remember I'm in Southern California. Okay, it's like Southern California can actually be, well, it's honestly mixed, but there are some places out here that are very intolerant.
I don't know if I just grew up different, but I didn't have, like, I grew up with, like, Madonna and queer advocates and stuff like that, so I'd never had a whole lot. I can understand what you're saying about the news, right? But I never had preconceptions. All of my friends growing up were queer men because I felt less attacked. Like, girls being friends with men is always a little, like, when you're young, it was always weird to me. I was very uncomfortable. Girls being, like, being friends with other girls, half the time they were fucking bitches. Like, I just got along with queer people better, men specifically. So I never had those preconceptions. Matthew Shepard's story came out, and I remember watching that, and I was crying. Like, it was a horrifying story. To think that you could kill somebody over something so little. To think that you could care. It was wild. It was wild to me. I never had horrible preconceptions because I never judged in that way.
Where I grew up, the thing is it was mixed, but the worst preconceptions, were still out here. I didn't see people calling for the gays to be executed.
Jesus, I hope not.
I didn't see that. Around here, I didn't see that. Remember, and I grew up in a Catholic region, so homosexuality wasn't firmly tolerated, but at the same time, people were getting used to it. It's like I watched the transitionary phase, is what I'm really trying to say. Now, here's also another, because I'm in Southern California. It is a lot of huge Mexican population out here. Some of these people, legally or not, they came to the United States from Mexico because they were protecting their gay sons.
Oh, Lord.
And
that's a good fucking family member then.
Right, and that's another thing.
Stop. Before we run out of time, I want to watch GTA6 trailer.
It sucks.
Oh my god! Okay, shut the fuck up.
Hold on, it's just a trailer. It's just an announcement trailer. It's not a gameplay trailer.
Well, no,
that's why
it
I
is
said
just
that.
I get that.
Right, you guys will see. Go ahead.
Look, hold on. I gotta point this out right away.
Well, your audio distorted. Can you try that again?
I said I gotta point this out right away. Right on here, it's got the Patriot.
Patriot, what is that?
It's just because it's Florida, it's gonna be rednecky.
Oh, they took it back to Florida. That's awesome.
That is so good.
Lucia, do you know
She
why you're
looks
here?
so
Bad luck,
real.
I guess.
Yeah, the engine looks great.
Oh
The
my
details
God.
in this look. Yeah, they look really good. Now, did they actually say this is in-game footage? That's
I
the little
don't
stuff.
know.
Is fucking.
Look at this. It
Those
looks
big old butts.
real.
They did a great job with this engine.
Incredible.
Yeah, like it's weird though. Some shots you can tell. Okay, so I think we're seeing a mix of in-game footage and not, because some of these details look sharper than others.
Oh,
Like there are
for
some
sure.
places where I can clearly see it's a game.
Can you stop fighting like right by the computer? That would be great. What are you pissed off about? Oh my god. Come here. What are you mad about? Are you getting humped? Yeah, you must be. He's so mad right now.
He sounds pissed.
Alright, go. Holy crap. Okay, one pissed kitty. Okay. Alright. We've got gorgeous girl right here. Holy crap.
Yeah, they look great in Florida.
Oh my god, the
And he's fighting. Yo, it was funny though. Well, no, that's real shit though, because one of my aunts lived in Florida for a while. She told me if I were outside, you see anything that looks like a flat tire on the side of the road, stay away. It could be an alligator.
Oh my god. Okay, Samuel said mute the music just to be safe because it could get a strike. Okay, I'll mute it.
Oh, I can't even hear the music.
The twerking. Oh my god, people are going to be so mad. The twerking. Someone
Yeah,
call
this
the
is-
Department of Transit on this
This is
dump
Miami.
truck. Shut up. On this dump truck.
Yeah, can't have ass like that on the side of the road, ma'am. You're gonna cause an accident.
Oh my god. Stop, please. Go. Hold on. Why are you being
I thought
a dick
distracting
right
drivers
now?
was illegal. That thing is pissed.
Stop.
What is that?
Banie's pissed.
It's like a chainsaw.
Oh my god, he's so mad at me right now. Well, he's not mad
No,
at me.
they,
He's mad at us.
he's
but-
he's imitating a chainsaw. Your future is certain.
Oh my god.
That's your that's your
Finna
warning.
spin the block on this one. What the fuck? Got that Instagram. Oh my god.
That's a big fucker. When you go back to the alligator.
What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? Look at this dude. Look at this
If-
dude. Just this half naked white dude running
Jeez.
down the road.
This is called GTA6 Florida Man.
Oh my
This
god.
is awesome. This could be honestly, I think this could finally be better than Saints Row.
Oh my god, it's so good. What the fuck? There's a Karen one too. Oh my god. The Karen
This is
neighbors
perfect.
fucking. Oh my god. She's got two hammers.
It cures emotions.
Okay, can I turn the song back on so at least I can... No.
I know it's but if it's
I want to hear him
you're-
talk.
No, you're struggling with YouTube as it is. I know.
I know.
They're not really saying a lot, but
They're going at like. So are we getting two main protagonists this time? I'm guessing.
it could be multiplayer.
Yeah.
It-
No, what are you doing? Stop it.
Or maybe you're right, yeah.
Oh my god.
Maybe that's really what you're getting.
I'm kind of stoked.
I admit it looks good, but you have to remember this is just an announcement trailer. That wasn't a gameplay trailer.
It's just to get you excited.
Well, that's why I said that's why I said don't get too excited. And it doesn't come out till 2025.
I
You
know,
how
that
much-
was the biggest. Like, I was pumped seeing the trailer. I was excited. And I was like, yes, I can't. Oh my god, another year and a half probably.
Look, it's probably not going to come out until summer 2025. That'd be the ideal time. It fits in with the theme of summer, obviously. I wouldn't expect it any sooner than summer 2025. For some reason, they're really
Yeah.
lagging in this game. Possibly because Rocksteady, right? Yeah, this is all Rocksteady, and Rocksteady's on Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League, right?
Yes. Okay, Samuel said
Okay.
yes, 2 main characters. The game footage from months ago was correct. I'm excited. Don't get me wrong, I haven't played GTA in a very long time because it's been out for a very long time.
I haven't either because at the same time you also had Saints Row. The last Saints Row game was absolutely garbage.
I was gonna say.
No,
nobody
not that
loves
one. That one
game.
doesn't count. No, I think it went. I think it's on. I don't know. They shouldn't do anything with the game. No, this is what happened. They added a DLC to a game that nobody's buying.
GTA?
So
Or
no. The last Saints Row.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, no, that one took a shit on itself big time. This looks great. But like I said, at the same time, Saints Row 3 and 4 were out, and they're just so dramatically different from the usual GTA. And it's true, GTA had a saturated feel for a while. Going to Florida and actually putting Florida Man in the game,
Oh my God, it's
and
gonna
Florida
be
Woman.
neat. Yeah.
Okay, so they finally found a way to reinvent themselves and give themselves a fresh look.
Yes.
And now you understand why the game took so long, because they had a lot of rethinking to do.
Oh yeah. And I think it looks really, really good. I'm not gonna. I want to see some gameplay and I want to see all of that, but I think it's gonna be it's gonna be good. You can't expect bad from them.
I'll
Come
say
on now.
like summertime game shows coming out next year would
Rockstar
definitely
makes
have something.
GTA. Rocksteady makes
Rockstar,
it.
I said. Okay, my mistake. Sorry about that, guys. But anyway, well, bottom line, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is gonna hurt. But people, here's the thing: you should buy it, play it here because there are going to be.
Are you fucking crazy? All right, guys, we're
Well-
gonna wrap up. Joseph, but thank you for being willing to come on. I appreciate you.
No problem. And like I said, Tony, if you're listening, I don't know if he was in the audience today. I know I owe the money. I was never looking for a way out of the bet, but let me be clear: a settlement is not an acknowledgement of guilt. That is
Oh
legal
my God,
fact.
lies. Okay, all the cope here. We will see you guys next time. Bye bye.